other players of this roster be high up in the CGG ratings. So it's not just Grixer. I mean, like you mentioned before, James, you'll have to have people supporting you in order to acquire and get those frags, because just by yourself, you won't be able to.
Yeah, one of the things that's really amazing about Soniqs is what I was saying before, opening kills. They have 80 opening kills and 60 opening deaths. It's a plus minus of 20. Plus 20 on the opening kills. In contrast, Damwon Kia is only 53 opening kills and 54 opening deaths. So that's actually -1 across the whole. Even Soniqs not only are better at opening kills per round, but also their trade percentage when they get the opening kill, when that is traded back by the enemy, that's a number you want low. That's actually 5% lower than Damwon's as well. So we know that Soniqs are really good in the early rounds.
Okay, so we're moving into the map ban phase now. We have some information going up on your screen. And what do you think? That all just came down, actually, so we even have the decider.
We have all the information here, but we started with Soniqs and a Villa ban. It is a map that they performed 50-50 on so far. I would say their attack and win rate and defensive win rate aren't too exciting, and it's a map that they ban a lot, so it makes sense that they would ban it out straight away. Seems to be a good map for Dem1 too, so just get your opponent's best map out of the way straight away.
Yeah, look, you know what, speaking of banning a lot, Soniqs really love to ban Bank. They've banned it in 4 of their 5 matches so far, and they haven't played it for 3 months, so this is a really surprising ban. This is Soniqs' second most banned map, and they're picking it against Damwon Kia.
Yeah, I feel like what Soniqs has been saying to help them improve to get out of groups has been they want to expand their map pool, and they've said to us like, oh, we play all 7 maps. Cafe seems to be a map that they don't play. It's interesting how they've let it up for so far through the entire map and phase. It could have potentially been Cafe as a decider even, but it is Oregon. So them expanding their map pool and then having banned a few maps and now playing it might make it so that we'll see an entire new team with a lot of strategies on here.
Yeah, and speaking of the second map, Damwon Kia picked Chalet, which is a map that is of no surprise to people who are Damwon Kia fans. They are 10-1 on that in recent history.
Also, we need to talk about the impeccable fashion from Joe Bro. Am I wrong? I mean, like, absolutely stepping it up. And you know who else has impeccable fashion? Pengu and Intero. So take it away, gentlemen. Damwon Kia versus the Soniqs. Let's go!
Thank you so very much. I feel like today we're not as well dressed, especially not as well dressed as Joe Bro is.
Nope, certainly
well,
not.
you look kind of nice.
You look kind of nice too, and it is Valentine's, Parker.
It is.
It's a day where we spend time together.
I'm wearing my red shirt. This is my Valentine right here.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. I have my own, unfortunately. Riley is, at home. We're gonna be FaceTiming later tonight, talking about Parker. What do you? No, it's not. It's okay. It's okay. We'll find you someone here. Jacob is available. Sure.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'll stay single. That's fine.
That's my bad.
I don't need.
Moving on. It's getting too emotional here. Moving on. We got a matchup in front of us.
It's meaner that you would suggest Jacob than just saying outright no. Thank you, I appreciate that. Soniqs were in action earlier today. They got a scrappy win over another APAC team. In Elevate, they're looking for a second win over the same region. There's only 2 APAC teams remaining in this whole event. Oh. Elevate was in action earlier. They're now down in the lower bracket. They're going to square off against Rogue. Damwon Kia have looked like one of the best teams at the tournament. If your money is not on either Team Liquid or Damwon Kia, what are you spending your money on? That is the real question. And when you look at these maps, I have some questions, as talked about. Number 1, okay. Bank is a map that has not been played by either of these teams here at this event. When you think back at the map pool that the Soniqs have, Bank is not in that, yet they chose to pick that map here, which I think is fascinating. They've hit it for a reason, and now they're ready to bring it out. And let's not waste any time, by the way. Let's get into the actual matchup, because we know you want to see Damwon Kia. We know you want to see the Soniqs. They had their hands full against Elevate earlier on, but guess what? They persevered. Will they be able to do the same thing against what many would consider to be a much stronger opponent? Well, let's take a look. We'll load in. The community sure seems... The community sure seems to think that this is...
All right.
This one's already over, according to them. 82% of you thinking that Damwon Kia is going to win. First ban was a Nook ban. On Bank, that's pretty typical. Nook is quite strong. Grixer has been playing a lot of Nook.
That he has. We saw that in Soniqs' previous matchup. And the other side for Damwon Kia is that they've been watching the Soniqs play earlier today, because this is their first game of today. So basically, they've been able to study their opposition, whereas Soniqs, might be a bit more tired, might not have as much energy, but I'm sure they have just about as much preparation, because they knew that if they were to beat Elevate, they would have to face Damwon Kia next on this same exact day. Nook, Hibana, Kaid, and Mira, nothing quite out of the ordinary besides, of course, the target ban onto Grixer that is the Nook. It's something that the Soniqs used earlier today on both Villa and Oregon. Not so much in great success on Villa, but it certainly worked out in favor of Soniqs on the second map, the second time around, so that's going to be off the board for them. And of course, we're going to be going into CEO. Fun fact, Bang is actually attacker favored as of now. It's a 44-56, so it's not like heavily skewed, but it is attacker favored. Bomb site wise, we're pretty close. 43% lockers, 45% open area kitchen, and 47% CEO. Only really archives and tellers being down the gutter on those numbers.
The two most played bomb sites are lockers, CCTV down on the bottom floor, and then open area and kitchen on that main floor. Following it up, our CEO upstairs, and then Teller's Archives only has 8 plays out of 136 rounds on this map. Not a single bomb site is currently defender favored. I think that's also quite worth talking about, because we might have a map, Nick, where it might not be a defender-sided map, but 1 or 2 sites are quite good. Not the case here on Bank. None of the sites are good for the defenders at all. Damwon Kia will have their hands full in that case. Even though this is a Soniqs map, the Soniqs and the Soniqs start on an advantageous side. You cannot take DWG Kia, Damwon Kia out of the fight ever. They go by DK in game. You might hear us go from Damwon Kia to DK interchangeably.
Yeah. We'll try to make them both work, or maybe we should just settle on one, but either way, we also got Soniqs and SQ. We got the Super Soniqs, if you will, and expand on that. Kansan in the basement, again, doing the Sonic special, trying to kind of get map control early on. That was one of the biggest approaches for Soniqs on their attack inside against Elevate. They were super quickly into the building, gained a little bit of ground, and held onto it. And speaking of that, yes, down below, inside of Taylor's office, we'll do this exact same thing. Trying to figure out where you have the line in the map can be very difficult on Bank. Valkyrie is open for the defenders, not in play this round, but Katsen is on the Echo, so we'll have a little bit more information than usual on this defending side.
Yeah, nothing really with that weird about the operator bans here. Nothing at all. I mean, you want to take out a hard breacher because way back when Bank was very firmly in the meta, there were only 3 hard breachers, and Maverick was not seen as viable an option. He also had fewer fuel in that tank, if you recall, which made it harder. If you were almost perfect with it, you could open 2 hatches, but there were a lot of mistakes made.
Did he fall off the roof? I think you fell off the roof, Parker. That's unfortunate. And of course, if you're Grixer, you don't want to use your gadget to get yourself up. You can get revived instead, then use the gadget. Then you're on 40, 45 health, and it's a little bit better than 20, but you're still less than half, and just a little bit of a messy start.
For those of you that haven't seen Finka in quite a while or haven't watched much of the event, Finka now gives a permanent health boost. It's no longer temporary. It does not wear off. So Grixer can keep rebuilding some of that HP back, but the problem is now he's had to burn it somewhat early. There is a minute left to play in the round, and there's still an adrenal surge to go. The Soniqs really haven't done all that much.
I think they missed on Yas. I don't think they know.
I don't think they might be closing in on Yas, but Katsang is there to support as well. He falls to Yeti, so Yas still gets to survive. Inside of that front office, waiting behind the counter, watching lobby. The Maverick was in that position. But now with Katsang down, those yokai drones are immobile. They're going to stay, and you can still gain intel off of them. But the question is are they upright? They can't actually do their job of knocking you out of the plant or disorienting. Nor can you go on scouting missions. And that's something worth noting as well. Yeti with a kill onto Yas. So there you go. Front lobby now cleared out. Woogie Man swinging onto the windows. The Soniqs are hitting their marks. Rin gets the first kill on the board for DK. And now there's another for Rin. On to Kansan. Equalizing. Down goes Coded. All 3 kills for Yeti. He's having a banger of a start. Rexton walks right into Woogie Man, and now Rin is under fire, scooting off over towards Stock. In comes Yeti, and Grixer will need to plant on no time. That's an easy kill for Woogie Man. 3 kills for Woogie, 2 kills for Rin, and a great first round for Damwon Kia.
This is pretty much the most accurate representation for Damwon Kia that you can basically have. And I'll tell you a little bit about why that is. Damwon Kia despite being one of the best looking teams right now, getting first in their group, etc., etc., high praise across the board. They have one of the worst opening kill statistic in terms of how often they get it. They're sitting in the bottom 10 of the entire 20 teams here at 48% of the time getting the opening kill. However, they have the absolute highest average opening kill conversion into a round victory. So they clearly don't really play around getting the opening kill. But when they do get the opening kill, they have such a high chance to win the round, and more importantly, they're often playing 4 versus 5, because if they're not the ones to get the opening kill, well, that means they get the opening death usually. And we saw it this time around. It was a 3 versus 5 basically. Rin equaled back the score to 3-3, it became 3-2, and Damwon, they somehow, someway, just managed to win a round that seemingly had been lost. But no, that's just how it goes. Damwon started up top, now going 1 floor down below will be an open area. That is a very, very liked sight by most teams that we've seen here on Bank. And as we said earlier, tell us out, guys, I'd be very surprised to see it. It's seen like 8 rounds out of 130 plus. Also on your screen we see the Damwon in-game skin for Hibana's weapon. Of course, in the in-game store we have all the esports skins you can pick up. There's a 20% sale right now, I believe all throughout Invitationals.
This also might be your last chance. Okay, Woogie Man, are you afraid of the big bad Woogie Man? Because he guns down 2 players from the Soniqs right off the rip. 20 seconds into the round, he's trapped outside. Won't be able to make it back. Grixer knows exactly where he is, but absolutely worth it. Rexen and Kansan, that's your flank watch. That's your soft destruction, both gone.
Yep, that is not going to bode well. And you know, normally Soniqs, they play a Jackal. Right now, that's kind of substituted by the Zero. Those Arcus cameras give you so much information for both the flanks, the general map control, and clearing out the roamers. You can also even clear utility, and all of that is now gone. You have Yeti on the Maverick, like he has been playing on in most maps for Soniqs so far, Super on the Thermite, and Grixer on the Finka. That's all you got to work with. So really, you have 4 grenades and 3 flashbangs.
First time as well. Well, we saw it in the previous round, but this is the first time that we're actually getting the Soniqs on Finka, because Elevate used that as a target ban on all 3 maps against SQ earlier today. Instead, DWG goes with a comfort ban and a target ban onto Nook. Nook is a very strong operator on a lot of maps, especially on Bank. We talked about this I think it was yesterday or the day before. Not yesterday, there was no matches yesterday. Last cast we did.
Yes.
We talked about how Nook on Bank is so strong because you go through garage, there's no cams there. There's only the cam on the exterior, which is going to get shot right away, as just Coded does. Yeti equalizes. Onto a 3v3, half of the round still left to play. Onto that Nook, but for a second, hold on a second. Rin, there you go. Oh, missed opportunity onto Yeti. All 5 kills for his team. Grixer has a single kill earlier onto Woogie Man, and that was it. Now, all of a sudden, the Soniqs have an upper hand. That run out from Woogie Man, obviously paying off. But what happens in the next 1 minute? That's the real question.
Yeah, Yeti doesn't need the Nuke to do the lingering around. He's been very efficient at playing around the map. Soniqs on Coastline, I would argue, one of the biggest win conditions is that of Yeti. He's showing the same kind of playstyle now here on Bank. A very big open map, lots of staircases, lots of different entryways, and really taking good advantage of it. 5 kills, as you mentioned. Absolute top gunner. Even Woogie Man can't stop him right now because he's already in the grave from the earlier jump out. Breach goes out. 30 seconds left. Well, you gotta do it all on Soniqs, and that impact does a lot of damage as well.
There's still 2 impacts left on the board. Katsang and Yas having 1 apiece. There goes the exothermic charge. Katsang can't do anything, and he misreads it. Smokes in the pocket of Super, and 3 nades as well, but Grixer is down. Those 3 nades just became 1. Nice shot from Katsang, and it's Yeti with 1 HP. Soldiers into the bomb site. He's wary from the gunfights, and with no time left, the Banshee will continue to give his position away. There's that Maestro camera as well. Everything working for Damwon as they go up 2 rounds to 0.
So it's funny, when the Maestro used the impact grenade above the reinforcement to deny the impact trick, he actually hit Yeti directly from below because Yeti was going up square to go outside to repel down, and Yeti took like 60 damage from that impact grenade. That's some good value. You get the thermite charge, you stop them from breaching, you do good damage onto Yeti. We don't see it, unfortunately, but yeah, Yeti was almost dead on a very low amount of HP, and I'll give you guys another statistic about Damwon just to kind of set the tone here. Damwon is the most clutch team. They have the most, clutches per round. They have 13 1vx's so far. That means 11% of all the rounds so far has been a clutch, if you will. That is extreme. Boogeyman, something that the analyst desk, Dev and Andy spoke about, ranked like top 5 in rating, top 4 in the plus-minus statistic. He's plus 32 right now, and he is number 1 in clutches, tied with Prano from Rogue, having 5 individual 1vx's to his name. And I mean, we saw the early jump out from the Boogeyman previous round. He doesn't have any hesitation. When he sees a play or sees an opening, he goes for it. And it's something that DWG as a team do really well together. Whereas on the side of Soniqs, they usually have a very clear-cut plan what they want to do going into a map. We saw it against Elevate only a few hours ago. And then when it doesn't work, I will say the one strength that Soniqs provides as well is their flexibility, or their adaptation rather, to really reading enemy teams. They will lose, let's say, 3 rounds. They'll recognize the issues. Then they'll change it up and really come stronger on the following 3 rounds to tie up the score. They do a really good job at it. And so far, well, they'll have to keep doing just that because they're down 0-2 right now.
Well, as we said coming into this, neither of these teams have played this map in quite a while, and they've not played it here at the 6th Invitational either. What was the number for the Soniqs? They haven't played this map in like 3 or 4 months or something like that.
It's been more than 3 months.
Yes, it's been quite a while from them, and they picked it. As we talk about when map pools become what they become for teams, and we see a mystery pick, which I think Bank is very easy to describe as, is that you deliberately save this up. The Soniqs have likely been scrimming Bank and have probably been getting decent success. They've probably looked at old VODs of DWG and said, okay, we don't think they're as proficient on Bank. We can make this bomb site, we can make these bomb sites, we can make this map work. So let's go there. Why don't we? And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. So there's a big question mark for us as to how these teams are going to match up because we don't have that historical data. The teams don't either. So if things start to go awry, it's not like you can lean back on, oh, we know what this team is going to do. Oh, we know what the strat is going to be. Oh, we know what the setup's going to be. You don't know at all. So it's quite impressive to see teams do this because in a lot of ways, what you accomplish in a scrim does not directly apply to a match. You know that from experience. You can have a great scrim on it, and get smoked internationally, you can get smoked in competition.
Yeah, scrims can be a big bait sometimes, or a false sense of confidence, if anything, where, oh, we did really good. Let's just, we're feeling good about this map, let's play it. You get smoked, you get stomped, it's a different story. And it only gets further enhanced when you play internationally, against other regions, against teams you haven't really played against before, where the head-to-head matchup is much more unknown, where Soniqs, they know how TSM plays, but DWG, that's a different story. Defense coming out from DK, they have to hold servers. They're standing there with their lives. Magnet came out, saved them as it covered the nade. Second nade goes wide. I don't think it did them or hit the mark. And that means now that Boogeyman, well, it's going to be difficult.
And Grixer gets the very first pick onto Yas. Yas has had a very quiet tournament. Boogeyman backing away, using 2 of those toxic canisters so far. 1 still remain in his pocket. Rin is at the bottom of the stairs and will narrowly dance around that grenade and now re-engage onto the Maverick, but not enough HP. Soniqs dominating the kill feed. Boogeyman last alive, still inside of blue, and they know it. Yeti taken out by a quick shotgun blast, but the players of the Soniqs are prepped and ready for this. 3 still remaining. Nice shot on the Grixer. Boogeyman's been so proficient so far, but as Rexon gets the diffuser down, the job of Boogeyman becomes a lot harder, if not impossible. It's not a perfect rotation for DWG. The Soniqs take round number 3. It's their first, and it comes at a pretty good time.
Yeah, and I feel like Soniqs had a much easier time attacking basement because that's not really a map where DWG can move around as much. There was no real roam game. It was very much a server-heavy setup. There was 3 players. Yas was on the server rack itself on the Wamai. Rin was bottom server stairs on the Jaeger, and you had the Boogeyman on top of the server stairs. They had invested all their ADSs and if not all, then most of their magnets as well, trying to hold down the fort, but too much utility from the side of Soniqs. The flashbangs coming out, the nades as well. Yeti did a really good job inside of Dirt Tunnel. Something that a lot of teams, they fail to capitalize on is that they'll have a bunch of people on the staircase, a bunch of people in the hatch, but they don't have anybody on the dirt itself. Yeti, really good job recognizing that we need somebody there, and who better than somebody with grenades. He's been a key factor right now on these first 3 rounds. 6 kills right now. Well, Grixer, he now has the finger, he has the LMG, something he didn't have against Elevate, and he's looking pretty good as well so far. 3, 2, and 1. And the gadget of that Adrenal Surge will help you a lot against the gunfights of Demon Kia because there'll be a lot of chip damage. We saw how Demon played the first 2 rounds in these more open bomb sites of open area and CEO where they take gunfights. They peek a little bit, they do some damage, they run away, they sneak somewhere else. And then the finger, well, if you take damage, the Adrenal Surge will help you get back up healthy to take the following gunfight and the one after that. So as an attacker, you have a bit of healing, and on defense, well, there's no Thunderbird being brought out, so there's no way to really match it.
There's no Doc either. Doc is completely
Doc is
completely fallen out of the conversation here. And now you've got Thunderbird who tends to take the place of Doc. I think it's very easy to say that the Spear is a better weapon than the MP5, and you're also looking at the Kona stations being superior to Doc's stim pistols, especially with the fact that Doc just has access to those 3 stim pistols, whereas the Kona station, there's 3 of them, and they replenish over time. So the healing potential of a Thunderbird is significantly higher. The only downside that a Thunderbird brings is that you have to be in proximity to those Kona stations, which isn't very large. The radius around it is quite small. Doc, as long as he's got a line of sight on you and there's nothing in the way, that stim pistol's going to connect.
Yeah, Doc is great for the revive, but not the raw healing itself. And typically at this level of play, once you're injured, you're typically dead. Or at the very least, you will be very soon. If you're injured to a nade, well, a second one follows up. If you get injured by a wallbang, a drone comes out, you get spotted, then you're dead regardless of the second wallbang. Boogeyman's inside of sight. We are on CEO. Similar fashion as before, Soniqs on the rappel, that's Rexon. As he is on the 0, looking to get active. He has 3 more Argus cameras in his pocket and 2 can openers. So Soniqs, they're bringing that secondary heart breach in case something else fails. It's kind of like their insurance policy where if Super falls down early, well, Yeti, he's doing Yeti things across the map. That means Rexon, he's the second support if anything. And with the gadget of the cameras, and the secondary heartbeat gadget, that means that you have a lot of adaptability around the map if something fails. Grixer says, we'll make it work early. Wookieman off the board, that's Jaeger. So the gadget stays around, he'll help out his team, but he'll be watching cams for now.
2 opening picks for Grixer in the last 2 rounds. Picking off Wookieman is huge. Nobody else from Damwon Kia have been quite as proficient or as formidable in this matchup. Plenty of time for them to find that, but Soniqs has opened up one of the back panels leading into the CEO portion of the bomb site. And they've got control of square stairs. The next obstacle is Rin sitting behind a deployable shield. This was a powerful spot for Rin before. Took down 2 players of the Soniqs before ultimately all of the Soniqs fell, leaving Grixer inside of the bomb site alone, if you recall. Super's going for a plant. There's a Yokai drone getting into position and it'll knock him out of it, so he can't really do too much, but it cost the Yokai drone its life. Now Coded under fire. Skatsang fires away, missing out on Super. The head shown of one of the players of the Soniqs, and there goes Super to Coded. A swing in, bad coverage for the Soniqs. Everybody falling just as the Soniqs dominated the kill feed before. Now it's Damwon Kia's turn. Yeti and Kansan the last 2 alive. Make that just Kansan as Yas picks up another big kill, and so does Coded. Confusing round from the Sonic standards. Where were they to watch Super and watch the diffuser being planted like that? Damwon Kia are up 3-1.
Yeah, basically Soniqs never quite took control over janitors, and that left open some angles from the side of Damwon Kia to abuse. They didn't have any C4s, there was no smoke, it was just that one Yokai drone, the final remaining one, that stopped Super, got information, and delayed the plan from Soniqs, and after that they just found the angles, they found the picks, but Soniqs, once again, they have this weakness. They tend to go for the easy, simple, direct kind of execute, and it's punishing them, and I think it'll continue to haunt them the better teams they play against. Against the worst teams, or worser, there's no bad teams here, you'll get away with simple stuff, because they won't punish you for it. But Damwon Kia, well, if you present an open angle, they'll take it. They'll take the fight, they'll hit the shot, they'll take you out, you'll learn from it. Soniqs will really have to show their ability to adapt throughout this game because, as you mentioned, Parker, this is not a map that either team has shown at this Invitational. You're going in with very little study work, which I think is Soniqs' strong side for the most part, but they've shown great adaptability inside the game when all else fails. I think we're at that point. What they're trying to do is not working. Now it's time to adapt. You attacked every single bomb site except for Archive Tillers. You know what to expect. So on the second time around on the bomb site rotation, now it's your turn to show that you've learned from the past. Rexon, with the IQ, that might be the first step. They recognize that they want to map the layout They want to figure out where the utility is, if there's an Echo on the board, if there's a Valkyrie on the board. They can find the gadgetry. They can take them out, reduce the information gain from them on Kia to make them less likely to swing you. Great first step. Now we get to see it in action. Yeti doing the same thing. Kansan and Rexen playing together while Yeti's halfway across the map. I say that Kansan and Rexen together, but they're really not because they're like 3 floors apart. Kansan's in the basement and Rexen is going up above. Kansan having that same entry point as the first round, coming up blue stairs from server. Woogieman lingering, holding the entry from back alley. Good drone work here, making sure we don't peek it, because with no information, it's not going to bode well. Woogieman biding his time, hitting patiently, getting the drone, but wants to assert dominance, assert aggression, make sure the map control stays in his team's favor. As Kansan gets the gunfight, gets the kill, good headshot. It's the first kill for Kansan as well.
4 of the 5 rounds right now, Nick, have gone in favor of the Soniqs on that initial bit of action. So, again, Damwon Kia will play without one of their players, and again, it's Woogieman, one of the easy top performers of this entire event, and now has a handful of MVPs to his name, despite the fact that he has been ineffective for about 3 of these rounds. Still leads the team in 6 kills, and there was that run out that you saw from Woogieman all the way back in round number 2, I believe it was, or round number 3. I can't remember the specific round when he went for that leap out, but round 2 it worked for the team, and he was paramount in giving them a little bit more breathing room. So the Soniqs being able to start this off on a map like Bank, it's good for them, but they only have 1 round. That's it.
Yeah, it is, and we see Yeti actually proning inside of lobby. He was using a pillar to make his body smaller, or to appear smaller, to not be shot in case somebody swung it out, but that wasn't the case. Jazz now, yes, inside of Taylor's archives. There's a second person to follow as well, but Yeti finds a kill on to code it. That means it's a 5v3. Gets traded back by Yaz. Very nicely done. Yeti off the board, top gunner as well. No nades inside of Maverick to be used this round.
And heads back to the bomb site. Looking into archives, there's a small opening, and that angle being held by Yas. The thing that we don't talk about enough is how strong Yas can be. Yes, he has not had the most spectacular performance, but there's still always that looming threat. He's been the best player in APAC by a country mile over the last year, so even if there's a bit of a lull or role change for Damwon Kia, still as formidable as ever. We're talking now because there really isn't all that much happening. Exothermic charges go off, and Damwon Kia have peeled back. They trail in terms of numbers. Super and the Soniqs have opened up the wall.
Rexen flank as well.
Rexen is indeed flanking on main stairs, and there we go. Sound being made. Katsang going down. Yas engaged with the IQ, gets the kill right back in. Swatted away by Grixer. Super sticking the plant. Rin needs to stop it in his tracks, and next to that castle barricade is where the diffuser is going down, so Rin is boxed out, and the Soniqs close out the bomb site and stop Rin from being effective at all. I suspect that part of that play was the Oryx to hop up through those hatches in open area, but when the hatch control is held by the Soniqs, you're essentially climbing up, and you're very vulnerable for those couple seconds, and then you are as good as dead.
It's gonna feel really bad if you're in, because the planter was spotted out, you knew exactly what was happening. You run up the blue stairs, you turn to your right, you see, a castle barricade. It's meant to help your team. It's meant to enforce the bomb site itself, but in this particular instance, it actually stopped Rin from taking down Super, who was on that plant. With the time running quite low, that could have been a clutch, but instead, the castle barricade provided fortification for the attackers, despite being a defender gadget, and that 1v3, well, became very difficult to win. Now we're down in the basement. We're continuing the same rotation of CEO, open area, and basement. And we're going to be seeing Valkyrie brought up from Yaz, so we're going to get more information on the board. Not the most plant denied. We only got 1 C4, we got Toxic Base from Woogieman, and we got the Evil Eyes from Coded. Evil Eyes don't typically do a whole ton of damage to the planter. It's more like, oh, the attackers have to destroy them, because if they don't, well, you have information, and the attackers know that you have information. And that's frustrating. It's annoying. It'll spot you, it'll ping you, it'll shoot your drones if you don't cover it. So that can be quite annoying to deal with. Yas getting the hatch in open area, making sure that all of those are reinforced. Same thing for Woogieman inside of lobby. Katsang, he's going to be vibing around on that first floor. Probably kill a drone or 2. I don't expect too hard of a roam here. He will impact the wall and make his way back down to side. So, relatively passive for now, but a little bit of presence on the first floor. Soniqs will have to attack it. They got a similar lineup. They went off the IQ. They said, you know what? We got the DOP. It worked. Great. Now back onto the 0. That is Rexon. Cameron's out of garage. He's going to provide good information. Rin, now, verticality. Raining from above. It's going to force him back on the main stairs and down to basement.
On the hunt, the Soniqs will start off this 6th round with very limited action through the 30 seconds, but that's okay. Finding the remaining Valkyrie cameras that are strewn about, not too close to the bomb site. Another downstairs, as you said, and this hold for Damwon Kia might be better than what we saw before. It doesn't look like DK are roaming as aggressively, at least from the vantage point that we have. They seem to be more protected, more sheltered, and playing closer to the bomb site. And I think that might be the right move strategically, especially with how quick the Soniqs were to clear out the front lobby. Hatch is being opened up by the Soniqs. They still run those dual hard breacher combo with Yeti sitting on the Maverick now for this entire half, and Super running on the Thermite. Rexon as well, bringing that can opener means that you've got tons of hard destruction at your disposal, and a single operator with that hard breach secondary can open everything up.
Yeah, it seems like Soniqs will go for a similar server attack, so, well, we're gonna have Yeti go into third tunnel, rotating around, and we got Woogieman on the server stairs. Similar fashion as the last time, but this time around, he has no backup. It's just the Woogieman. Nobody's inside servers. You have Rin inside the A-bomb playing inside of red, so, Woogie, if you can get a kill or two, that's going to be great. But once you go down, there's no toxic babes for the plant, right? There's almost no bomb denial whatsoever. We have a single C4 after that fact, and now Gersh is going to jump down. Nate from Yeti, you can swing with that as well. Woogieman forced to go backwards, but the double swing comes out. Great job.
And very strong coordination. Excellently played by the Soniqs, and Adrenal Surge to boot, just to give them a little bit of a top up now. And playing this barricade, right next to the reinforcement, rather. Rexon takes out Katsang. Damwon Kia are struggling at the moment to deal with this aggression. And they're just going to get run over by the Soniqs. As it continues, Rexon picks up kill number 2 on the Yas. Coded has to head back to the bomb site. Doesn't have access to the Alda. Down goes Rin. The nade's hitting their mark. Used to displace earlier on. The shots from the shotgun of Coded continuing to go. Flattens Rexon, but Grixer says that's all she wrote for that round. First half, Damwon Kia started off strong, but the Soniqs muscle back. And it's 3-3 as we switch sides.
3-3 indeed. Not looking very convincing for either team just yet. There was a very clear favor of what bombs were defended versus its success rate. For example, the Soniqs, they won both basement attacks. They clearly knew how to break it apart, right? You get the map control, you breach every hatch inside because you brought enough hard breach with the can opener, with the Mavic, with the Thermite, and then you're gonna work your way through servers. And this time, on the previous round, Woogieman, sole player, had absolutely no support from his teammates, and that made it so difficult. Gripster dropped the server hatch, Yeti came in from third, naded bottom staircase. That was all a bait, because someone from Soniqs swung the server stairs from square and then shot Woogieman in the back. Sold a bit short, but a nice try from Damwon Kia. Now they're on the attack, bringing a similar lineup but with a twist. They got the Thermite, they got the 0, but there is no Maverick. Instead, we're seeing the Dokkaebi, something that APAC is very fond of. And in case you guys didn't know what Dokkaebi does, basically, if anybody from the attacking side kills the defender will drop a phone, a physical phone that will fall to the ground. Then Dokkaebi can run over and hack it. Of course, the defenders, if there's somebody nearby, can shoot that phone, rendering that part of the mechanic useless. But if you manage to hack the phone, you get access to almost every single gadget and camera in sight. So for example, Yeti's Yokais on the Echo, the Dokkaebi will see those. Bulletproof gadgets, you have one, bulletproof cameras rather, you have one from Super, you can see that. The 3 black eye cameras from Valkyrie, you can access to all of those as well. So if Damwon Kia can just get one pick for free, and then hack the phone, you are getting an absurd amount of value because of how much information Soniqs has brought this round. So that can really go back and punish them. But of course, it is a basement defense, so finding an open pick can be very difficult. Got Logic Bomb coming out, that's going to help you secure the early stage, and Rin, already deep inside the building, has taken top square control and locked down the server staircase itself. Once you manage to get that main set of stairs too, you got the full map in control, and Damwon Kia can do the same thing Soniqs did and start setting up the execute.
Given what we know of this map and the stats that you read out, Nick, this is an attacker-favored map. So the fact that Damwon Kia got to go even with the Soniqs is a good sign for DK,
Absolutely.
I would argue, especially the fact that this is Soniqs' map choice. So Soniqs plus the better side equals should have decisively won the first half. They did not. So I would be a little bit concerned as to what we're going to see on this half. But the one thing I will say is that because Bank is so close, it might just be a very close half both ways down. We might need overtime to settle it.
Certainly. We're seeing the exact same setup from both teams, right? Zero will use the can opener to get the open area hatches, and now Damwon will have to start droning out.
Hold on.
Hold on. Oh,
Super is playing
Super?
Jaeger on the
Okay.
top of blue stairs with the M870 shotgun in hand.
I will say, I like this over the smoke because then when the smoke falls, you lose the toxic babes. And sure, the gadget can help you on that server stairs position, but I don't think the value is worth it. So putting Super, of all people on the staircase, I mean, it makes sense, right? Once he dies, he can make calls for his team from the grave, watching those cameras because they have the Yokais, they have the Valkyrie, they have the Bulletproof. So honestly, this might be a giga brain strat from the side of Super. We'll see if he can do it. Get a kill or two, buy some time. Right now, Damwon Kia being quite slow, but Rin just gonna walk on in.
This is exactly what we've seen from a bunch of teams here on Bank, which is that you want to go for the pinch. Oh, Super walks right over and destroys. Yes, that's one of the best players in all of APAC, taken down by Super, who's looking for more. 3 and 4 in this position, and there you go, a bit of a distraction. Those Swiss cheese holes allow Rin to blow open the wall, but took some damage in the process before that. Damwon Kia dangerously close to stalling out on their attack right now with 15 seconds left in the round. And there's some of the smokes getting hucked out by Kansan. Woogieman is in the midst of the smoke, and a nitro cell goes out. There goes Woogieman down for the count. The Soniqs making mincemeat out of these DK players, and Coded is the last to fall. The whole team is gone. It's mayhem inside of the bomb site, but the Soniqs come out on top of their very first defense.
It looked alright for Damwon Kia, besides the clock ticking down, but time wasn't really the issue there. They had a good setup. Smokes came out, one player flanked the main stairs. The most important part of that execute is that the Dokkaebi used the last logic bomb call, which basically meant that every single defender that was alive had to get off the cameras. That includes the Echo, who couldn't stop the plant, but instead as C4 came out, that just simply took him out of the equation. It was a very nice try, it was a decent execute. Super finding that kill and buying so much time for his team actually played a big factor, and that's where Soniqs, they were a little bit faster to clearing that server stairs, whereas Damwon were a bit more cautious, fearing that Jaeger shotgun. And well, that's how you gain the advantage. If you buy enough time or buy enough resources, well, then you got the advantage. We're gonna go above now. It is still Soniqs on the defense. That hasn't changed, and Super now flexing, really showing his muscles, playing the Jaeger shotgun, now on the Echo. So Yeti will be in the Moma instead, as he was the Echo prior. Kansan still staying on top of that smoke. Very good operator selection here. I like what we're seeing. Both teams bringing out the Valkyrie as well because it has been left unbanned. Something that's quite rare on Bank, and we've seen both teams really try and spend as much time when they're droning, flicking corners in the ceiling, trying to find those black eye cameras from Valkyrie to ensure that, well, we don't want to be spotted in the end of the round with those yellow pings because that's not going to be good for us. It really allows the verticality from defenders, use of C4s, impacts, shotguns, etc. So you want to make sure that the defenders do not have accessibility to that information. And that's exactly why we see again the Dokkaebi being brought out from Coded.
Both APAC teams running a Dokkaebi against the Soniqs, by the way. Just in case anybody's curious, the Soniqs already deal with it against Elevate on that Villa map. And a lot of value, as you talked about a couple rounds ago, of what a Dokkaebi can bring. The actual offensive loadout of a Dokkaebi is not particularly strong, but if you're bringing those flashbangs, you've got at least some utility clear. And your ability to paralyze your opponents and know exactly where they are based on that sound is huge, let alone if you can get a kill and immediately retrieve the phone to gain access to the defender intel. It gains more value as a Dokkaebi if there are multiple bulletproof cameras up, if there are Maestro cameras up, if you've got a Valkyrie in play, and hey, would you look at that, there's tons of intel that's available right now because of the Soniqs lineup.
Yep. And that just means that if you can find that pick, you gain so much. But once again, see, a similar story of that of basement, where there will not be a whole lot of isolated targets unless you are roaming. That's not something Soniqs are doing. We got all 5 players. Well, we got 4 players on the top floor. Grixer is down below. But you can even argue, if Grixer falls, you could just make a small hole in the ceiling above him, take out his phone. That way you cannot hack it. I'm not sure we're thinking that far ahead of your Soniqs, because this is such an unusual pickup off the Dokkaebi. Early engagement coming out.
And there it is. Katsang and Kansan do each other off. They might start with the first 3 letters, but it ends with an unfortunate result for Kansan. Now Super is gone as well. Damwon Kia had some problems on that very first round, but they've seemingly learned from it. Now it's Woogieman to get tackled by Yeti. Yeti's still upright, playing right now inside a Trump. Logic Bomb goes off. Diffuser almost down by Woogieman, and the Soniqs might not know about this. Yeti scrambling to get out of there, as it's now a post-plant with the Korean team ahead. A flawless round still within their grasps, as it's Rex in the fall next. Nitro Cell expended by Grixer. He's down below and isolated, but he doesn't find anything for it. The Soniqs are in a hell of a world of hurt right now. Grixer spotted out, and it's all up to Yeti. That is about it. Right now inside a Janitor, as you talked about, multiple players from Damwon over by Square. No flawless round. Rin is the one that has to be sacrificed for the greater good. That leaves Yeti in a 1v4 with only 10 seconds to go. Tough spot to be in for him. Still inside a Janitor, not going anywhere. This round in about 2 seconds is over. Even if you get it down on Yas, you're doing it for the rankings. That's about it. Pad your stats, why don't you? And that's all she wrote. A final kill comes in even though it wasn't needed. And Damwon Kia find their footing on their second attack.
Once again, Damwon Kia using the Logic Bomb from Dokkaebi to basically allow the Executor to come through cleanly. No members alive, can check the cameras. And well, that round, to be fair, there were like 3 dead players from the side of Sonic, so those people could check the cameras, but you can't act upon it, right? You cannot actively use the Yokai drone. Super was dead as well. He was in the Echo, so really just no response overall. And I don't think they're gonna go off this Dokkaebi anytime soon, because it's working for them. You get to bring some utility, you get to bring the flashbangs, the gadget, and sure, the weapon might not be the best, but that's not really why you bring it. You have good guns on Katsang, Yas, Rin, even Woogieman on the Thermite, so you don't really need all that much. We're gonna keep changing up the bomb sites. We're not gonna go anywhere twice in a row from either team. It'll be open area, and now we see the flexibility again from Soniqs. Now Yeti's in the castle, Rexon's on Thunderbird. We spoke about that operator earlier. Much better than Doc, right? And now they're bringing it, and it makes sense for open area where, well, this is a roam bomb site. So you can put down those Kona stations on bomb site, then you can go out and roam, do your thing, take your gunfights. If you survive, you can run all the way back to the bomb site, get healed back up, then continue out in action. And that's also why we see Grixer on the Oryx. We basically want to get out as much on the map as possible. Yeti castling the ATM doors, ensuring that if anybody comes from there, they'll have some sort of information, as they'll have to break those castles first. We actually see a Kona station.
Okay, this is really interesting, what we're witnessing right now, by the way. Teller's Archives only at what? I think it was 8 picks of the 136 rounds.
It is open area bomb site.
It is the open area bomb site, but I was going to say, Teller's Archives is going to be a massive focal point for the Soniqs defense, because that's where the Thunderbird was setting up. So you're going to play off of the roam, and talking to a lot of these players about how Thunderbird is most used effectively, it's put 2 of those Kona stations in what are considered power spots in the bomb site, where 1 or 2 players are going to play, or at least are close enough to where players can play off of, and then keep one of those Kona stations either in your pocket or on a position on roam. In this case, I don't think it's correct to call a Tellers or Archives hold a roam necessarily. They're playing aggressively near the bomb site.
Extension.
It's an extension of the bomb site, effectively, especially towards the Archives component. Not necessarily Tellers. There's a Nitro Cell from Rexon, read out perfectly on the Katsang, and the Soniqs will take the very first pick. Logic Bombs raining on down on these Soniqs players. Still 1 left. That annoying device that will give so much information. Well, there's 1 remaining for an inevitable execute. Half of the round to go. Katsang does not get in the building. Katsang has not had a very good map so far, and with it, the Soniqs have an advantage, and they can breathe easier as to where these attackers are going to come from and what utility they have.
Katsang, actually, important note here, he actually has, or had rather, the breaching charge secondary gadget, just like Rin does as well. But that means without Sledge or Buck on the board, you'll be extremely limited to how much of this floor you can break. If you had 3 additional breaching charges from Katsang, you could do over twice the amount of verticality as you can now, and you'll most likely have to spend Rin's primary gadget of those Sophia boom boom grenades, if you will, to further open up the floor. So it's going to limit you if you're down on Kia, because you gotta now walk down the staircases instead and try and seek out gunfights. And well, if you're not breach the side or the wall into sight, there'll be mute jammers. So you gotta nade above. That's going to be good for them. Are there any impacts from the defenders? Let's check. No, there is not. That means this wall will get opened up, but not on. Oh, yes.
That is.
I think the nade missed. It must have bounced back. Took out Wookieman. This wall will stay closed.
This is okay. So after this round, Damwon Kia is going to call a timeout because A, you're now behind in terms of numbers. This round is effectively unwinnable for Damwon Kia at this point. You don't have any hard breach available. You don't have a way to get the wall open. You're going to be able to open the castle barricade, and the rush could potentially come in, but you have no intel as to where they are in the bomb site, and you don't have a lot of time either. Only 20 seconds left. As for the Soniqs, they are all stacked up. They're being patient. They're playing the corners, and they are prepared and ready for these players from Damwon Kia to get into the bomb site, if they even do at all. I mean, I think they know that it's a hopeless endeavor at this point. Rin gets swatted away by Grixer, and Yas will end up staying alive, but it doesn't matter because, again, if you're an attacker, your focus is to get in and get that diffuser down, and it's just not going to happen. And there we go. A tactical timeout is called, and with it, Damwon Kia is going to be hopefully resetting their mental and fixing whatever situation they feel is not working out well for them.
It's almost like you predicted the call of the timeout, because I will say we did not know this was coming until this very moment.
That is correct.
You're in the game, Parker. You're doing a good job.
We do not get information ahead of time. We see when timeouts are called, we get information the moment that the round ends. We do not get it actively during the round. But if I'm the coach of Damwon Kia, after watching what's happening right now, assuming that Bank is as even as the stats suggest, then you want to win at least 3 rounds on your side minimum. On the very first half, I think Damwon Kia came out ahead, taking 3 rounds on defense on a map that they don't really play all that often. Also against a team that doesn't play it very much, by the way. The Soniqs haven't shown this map in quite a long time. I'd say that is overperforming your expectations, no matter how good DK is as a squad. But then the problem becomes, you are now falling short on attack. You are surrendering early picks to the Soniqs far too frequently. You're having trouble getting into the building. Yes, Bank is a big map, but you're not droning it out super effectively. And then past that, on the more free-flowing bomb sites, you are showing a lot of troubles with coordination, and more troubles than we've seen from Damwon Kia so far. So the coaching staff on DK, settle the nerves. That team kill from Yas while you're losing and you know that you should be winning is going to rile up the team a lot. Settle them down. Even if it's just taking a breather and it's less about strategy and more just about emotions, that's also really beneficial.
Absolutely, and I also think that, I mean, sure, Yas was meant to team kill Wookieman with the grenade, but it also really shows a good lesson about how important it is to set up difficult tasks, or just tasks in general, that your opponent has to solve, right? Let's say there wasn't a jammer or any wall deny on that open air wall earlier where the nade went bad. Well, you just put the thermite charge down, you pop it, and it opens up. By putting a jammer, you now need to open up the wall above, throw a flashbang, check for ADSs, then cook a nade, throw the nade, and kill the jammer, and then breach the wall. So simple things like that, just taking a simple mute jammer, a bandit charge, or a kite claw, it sets like a 2 or 3 step process for the enemy to solve. It's super simple, but highly effective. It's the same thing when you make holes vertically, so that, oh, you have to worry about the holes above or beneath you. Same thing with Valkyrie cameras. Bringing the Valkyrie and then spotting people. They'll go, oh no, they know where we are, run, panic, all this stuff. So it is extremely simple, and every single operator, they bring their own kind of value and pressure onto the opponents with their primary gadget. And when you play around that beautifully, and then with a little bit of luck, such as Yas missing the grenade, well, you can gain a ton of value out of it. Soniqs back in the basement, and we are indeed seeing Super once again on the Jaeger with the shotgun on the server stairs. Last time he had a great time. He found 1 kill, he stalled out, bought a lot of time, and I mean, they won the round, so that's fun. And look at this, he just sits there. He's gonna sit there for the next minute straight. He's not gonna move a muscle, not even gonna be checking cameras. He's just gonna be sitting and waiting, eventually just to die. Most likely, at least. Rexon does have the OMI, so discs will be on the board as well. We can help Super reinforce that position. but that's about it. You don't want to expend too many people because you will ultimately fall. No team in their right mind believes they can hold the server stairs. Not at all. You believe you can stall, maybe get a kill. If you're amazing, you can get 2 kills, but here's the counter. The Retaro drones against Super are highly effective. Just like in a Pokemon game, you hear that crit sound that happens, at least back in when I played Pokemon games in like 2005.
What the hell are you talking about?
When you get a
no, I understand what you're talking about, but why? What's it?
It makes that sound. It's like a hurtful sound. When I was like, oh, that hurts. Ah, that's what happens. Super highly effective.
Super effective.
Super effective. Highly effective.
Quite literally, super.
I got it the first time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm just trying to make as many puns as possible as we watch this startling conclusion. A very close barn burner of a match so far between these teams. There's the very first pick on Grixer. Super re-engages. He did this against Elevate on Villa, by the way, where he tried to fight far enough away with a shotgun. It did not work.
Nope, and it doesn't work this time around either. Super, of course, should be used to the shotgun. He does play smoke, but it's a different kind of shotgun. And if you don't believe in it hard enough, well, it will not give you what you need. 3v5 with 50 seconds left. What do you have as a defender? Well, you have no Yokai drones, you have no C4s, you have 2 smoke canisters. With 40 seconds left in a 5v3, well, down on Kia, not only do you have to plant, but you gotta create chaos to make space. Drop a hatch, flank the main stairs, go crazy, because otherwise, you make it too easy.
And there's the diffuser getting planted, Coded watching from above, firing away, waiting for Rexen to peek. Not much you can do against that. Off of the diffuser, Damwon Kia go. That allows some time for the Yokais to move into position. It's Cat saying to get softened up. First player on Damwon Kia to fall below half HP. Now Kansan playing keep away. A nice shot on the Cat saying, but more to be found. There's the Yokai drone.
They have one.
Waiting out the clock. Does he get it in time? Yes, he does. Miraculously done by Yeti. But now Kansan is down, so it's a 1v4. No real opportunity for the diffuser to be stopped at all. Damwon Kia shore up some of their weaknesses after that timeout. And again, these teams are incapable of shaking each other as it's 5-5, and all 12 rounds will be needed.
Going the distance. Turns out there was actually Yokai drone alive after all. That's very nice, but not nice enough because ultimately it didn't matter. Damwon Kia did just that. They flooded the side. The second that Yokai got active, they all sprinted 3 people to the grass. He must be over there. Try and take him out. And sure enough, Yeti was hiding behind that yellow pillar deep inside of garage, playing very far back. We're actually going to go back one more time. So back to back to the basement. And I'm curious to see if Super will, for the 3rd time, he has the shotgun. It's going to happen again. We're going to see it. So far, he's 50-50. He's won 1, or defended once, and he's kind of lost the defense the 2nd time because Super didn't really get any value. And that was one of the big differences, is that the server stairs was easy for Damwon Kia. They didn't just get 1 opening kill, they got 2 opening kills. But the only thing that I worry for the side of Soniqs, if you're not going to be at least fake or pretend roaming a little bit, Damwon Kia will clear the map extremely quickly. And when that happens, they get so much time for the stage 2 of the round, which is the setup, right? Because the round typically breaks down into 3 different parts. You start off with the map control or roam clear. You know, that is to drone your entries in, figure out are there any threats, are there any enemies, what's happening. Then you take the space. That should take about the first minute of the round. If you're faster than that, great. If you're slower, not so great. And with that, you can start phase 2, which is the setup. That's you droning out the bomb site, you know, you drone the server stairs, you breach the hatches, etc. You pretty much choose how you want to attack. And then the stage 3, the very end, the grand finale, is the execute. And that's what you just saw. Inside of servers, you breach the wall, you toss out the smoke grenades, you hold the cover so your planter is safe, and you want to get down the diffuser. And that's it. 1, 2, 3. Very simple. And as a defender, you want to counter that. That's why you roam. To buy time, try and get a pick, cause confusion, and just make the first step from the attackers a lot more difficult. Soniqs aren't doing that. They're making the first step extremely easy. 45 seconds in, they got the entire map in control. It's too fast.
There was a logic bomb that got burned as well. Super's back on the shotgun on Jaeger. This is the 3rd time that we're seeing it. While we have some time here, spoilers inbound, cover your ears for the next 10 seconds. An update from the other stream, Team Empire and the Russian squad defeating Space Station by a score of 2-0. SSG will go down into the lower bracket. And they await the winner of NIP versus MIBR. As for Empire, they play the winner of this matchup. So, the Russian squad rolling forward.
My predictions. That's not good.
I don't know what you predicted, but
The wrong thing, Parker.
there's no Rotero drone in play on this round.
That's really good if you're super.
It's a very good thing for the Sonics that allows super impunity at the top of these blue stairs. All the ADSs there, a mute jammer there, a deployable shield there. It's going to keep getting eaten, and this is just a lack of information. The Zofia stuns come in after the nades. That's not usually the sequence that you want to use them in.
It's also tricky because the Zofia stuns, they don't have the same target priority system as regular projectiles. If you stun someone that's next to an ADS, there's like a 50-50 chance you hit the player, all ADS, but Rin walks in from dirt, and that could be a factor. Is the cover there for Sonics or not?
Now, one of the things with them bringing this Dokkaebi, by the way, is that's your only set of flashbangs available, nothing else. You don't have a sledge, so you have to bring hard breaches. You're running with the Zofia. There are a lot of holes in the lineup from Damwon Kia that prevent them from tackling this top of blue stairs as effectively as they need to.
They've rotated.
They have.
Server.
They don't like it anymore.
They're jumping lobby hatch right now. It's going to be a rush.
And there you go. Damwon Kia are in, by the way. Guns hitting their marks. Rex in the first one, but it's Grixer with kill number 1 on the Woogie Man. Either team that prevails here goes to match point. Yas is the next one to take a ton of damage. Katsang trades his HP away for a kill on Yeti. It's Yas now to re-engage all the way over by Vault. Seeing a foot of Grixer, down he goes. Beautiful play by Yas. Coded taking some damage. Rexon swinging from outside of elevator. Did they know he was even in there? 5 seconds to go. Sonics line him up. There's a kill. A big double play. Triple play from Kansan inside of lockers. And he gets a pat on the back from Grixer as it's match point for the Sonics.
Oh boy, who'd have thought that Super was the one to strike so much fear into the hearts of Damwon Kia. They could not clear out his position. They messed up the utility. They couldn't kill the ADSs, couldn't kill the shield, couldn't take him out of there as well. And Rin snuck into server, got spotted by that yokai drone, and instantly dipped back out. They rotated to lobby. They breached the lobby hatch instead. They dropped straight down, but to what? To a toxic babe, to 2 different Sonics players holding your drop as well. It was really difficult to get out. Hell in a cell, if you will. They almost made it. Yas had a nice toe shot, but that's not enough. And yeah, match point for the side of Sonics. Open area is where they believe they can end it out. And if you're at Damwon Kia, you gotta start getting more active on the board because these last couple of rounds haven't really gone your way. Opening kill especially. So far, in all of these rounds, Damwon Kia has only gotten 3 of the opening kills. Every other one is Sonics, so that's 3 to 7. That's not really great statistically, but we know Damwon Kia, this isn't really their forte. They don't typically get the opening kills anyway, but this time, well, they're not on the winning side. And sure, it's just map 1. We're playing Bank, a map that neither team has shown at Invitationals before. There's little study work to do. You can also even argue that Sonics, they're already warmed up. They played Elevate earlier. Damwon Kia, they're going in cold, so take this as your warm-up maybe if you're a Damwon Kia fan.
This is something that if you're a fan of the FGC, you hear all the time. Lower bracket runs happen so often in the FGC because a player gets to really settle in and is perpetually ready for the next match. Yes, fatigue is a very real factor, and it is something to keep an eye on in any match. It happens. People get tired.
Of course.
But you have a break time in between. A lot of these teams, and on some of these players on the Sonics, used to play those old DreamHack minors, if you recall, where you'd be playing like 12 best of 3s or 12 maps a day, 4 best of 3s, 3 best of 3s. It was an incredible amount of gameplay, and that really prepared you for events like this, where you play maybe 2 best of 3s a day and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of Rainbow Six, sure. But some of these teams are scrimming way more maps than that a day, especially here at this event, so they are ready for that. It might take DK some time to find their footing.
Yeah, indeed, and for you guys at home that are curious, if you guys didn't know, we got the first map of Bank into Chalet, and decider is Oregon. Bank was Sonic's map pick, so that's obviously where they would like to go, and so far, they've shown exactly why that is. Taking 6 rounds off Damwon Kia and a 6-5 scoreline is impressive, especially if you are Sonics. I don't think that many people expected this game to go so close, but here we are. What do you know? Open area, minute 40 to go. Rin, this time around, has the verticality, and so does Katsang because he this time is alive. C4 did not take him out, but you've burnt more time being more cautious. And that is what happens when you're inside your opponent's head. Rexon, gets taken out. So Katzen actually trading back, being annoyed at what happened the previous time. And that's those breaching charges doing really good work already, and why they're so valuable, even though being overlooked very often.
Well, while the Soniqs might have led the way in terms of opening picks early on, it's become much more even since then. And the phone gets hacked as well by Damwon Kia, meaning that intel is available on behalf of the rest of their team. That's the bulletproof camera as well that was in the hands of Yeti. It needs to get shot away, and there you go. No more intel is allowed. It's way too valuable. You don't want to use it at all. Damwon Kia can ride out the final 50 seconds once they figure out where they want to push from. If you remember, it was a series of blunders and self-inflicted wounds that caused Damwon Kia to lose control of this bomb site last time. The Soniqs did not really need to break too much at all. Nice shot from Super. Good lord, that's a good one. And that's the diffuser surrendered as well. A nade will sail on in, and he'll take out Super, who goes down swinging. No damage done to Yas in the process. 30 seconds left. That's a nitro cell that goes out, and the Gemini will also walk in.
Yeti flank.
Here it is, on the top of blue stairs. What will he be able to accomplish? There's two nearby. Gets swung on by Yas. Hard to outduel Yas when he's feeling one. Katzang getting softened up. There goes Grixer as well. And all of a sudden it's Kanzin, but a beautiful double play. Trying to ride out the final 4 seconds. He has no idea where that diffuser is. SMG up. They're watching in this position. As he goes to swing out, there's both Coded and Katzang watching from this angle. Kanzin, are you a miracle worker? You only need one more.
Katzin!
And there it is. One of the best plays that we've seen at this tournament. The Soniqs, in remarkable fashion, will take map number 1.
I can't believe it. I can't. That was a lost rally. Look at that. They're so happy. That is not the series, by the way. This is the first map. Sonic's choice of ban. Kanzin, absolutely amazing round to end it out with the 1 versus 4. SMG-11 typically isn't that lethal, but in the right hands, oh boy, it can create a miracle.
This is only the second map that Damwon Kia have dropped all event. The last one was up against Na'Vi just a couple days ago, but it was ultimately a meaningless match for Damwon Kia. This one, though, it means an awful lot, because Damwon Kia are now staring down the barrel of a potential elimination from the upper bracket, contingent upon the results of the next map of Chalet. Now, Chalet is Damwon Kia's best map, but it used to be one of the best maps for the Soniqs, even if the Soniqs haven't really played it in quite some time. So, boy, oh boy, what a thrilling map that was, and I can't wait for map number 2, because map 1 was hype as hell.
It was. I mean, the same thing kind of happened in the Elevate game between Soniqs and Elevate, where, well, the players from the side of Soniqs are absolutely showing up today, each and every single one of them. We have spoken about Super as a highlight player now in both of their series. This doesn't happen very often, but it is happening right now against Damwon Kia and the Soniqs. They will need to keep this energy high to keep riding out the Ws.
Well, we're not going to slow you down at all. We know that you want map number 2. We want map number 2. So we'll go to a quick break, and then we'll come back and see what happens on Chalet between DK and SQ. Well, I don't know about you, but my heart is still beating after that clutch from Kansan that we saw in that 12th and fateful round on Bank where the Soniqs looked like it was going to overtime. It seemed like it was over in regulation and that there would be that 3-round shootout, but Kansan, he had something else in mind, and he played essentially a 1v4 in a post plant and wins it for his team in one of the best plays that we have seen internationally in this event, and I would even say over the last couple events too. Just a phenomenal clutch. But there's a lot more to the map than just that, Nick.
There was. Couple things, right? Neither team really played super aggressive, which I think we both expected, right? On the defense, I was expecting like big roam game, getting out the map, really challenging the attackers because Bank is an attacker favorite map. That wasn't the case besides the one exception, which was Wookieman like jumping out a window, right, on the second round. The stats, they might show the same story, or perhaps a different one. I mean, Wookieman played so well, same with Super and Rexon, that they were loading. But now they have loaded in, the stats are through. And what do we see? Let's look at the opening kills first, right? Wookieman went 1-4, that's -3. 1-0 from we're changing around. 1-0 for Coded, 0-2 for Yaz, 1-4 for Woogie, 0-0, and then again 2-2. So opening kill, not really being too crazy from Damwon Kia. We kind of expected that. From the side of Soniqs, looking better. Positive on Grixer, positive on Yeti, positive on Super, even on Rexon, even on Kansan. So obviously, one team heavily played into that, or more heavily at least, played into the opening kills, and one team didn't. 4 plants in total between both teams, most of the kills though.
Absolutely. What a performance it was. Bank, obviously a very free-flowing map. Lots of opportunities to roam. Lots of opportunities to live and die off of that roam. And honestly, Damwon Kia made some uncharacteristically poor mistakes. This is a team that up to this point has looked indomitable. Damwon Kia far and away one of the highlights through the group stages, never really slowing down and making every single team bend at the knee and then destroying them. But against this Soniqs team, there were very clear weaknesses. Damwon Kia's dogged insistence on running the exact same operator lineups despite after seeing the way that the Soniqs were playing the basement, that maybe there were some suboptimal choices in there. Not being able to adapt to that, taking the time out, and not really settling down either. The lethality that comes with Damwon Kia, their ability to break into the map and take no prisoners, all of that was gone, and the Soniqs had more opening picks against a team that usually thrives off of making space. They went up against a foe that is significantly better in that regard through that one map. So you have to settle your nerves down and clear your eyes and clear your mind, because next up is Chalet. 10-1 over the last 6 months on this map for Damwon Kia. This is by far and away one of their best maps, if not outright their best map, and they're going to go to it. The Soniqs could end up with one of the biggest upsets and shocking results of this tournament with the victory here. This used to be a very, very good map for the Soniqs, but it's been a while since they revisited these snowy peaks in France. Damwon Kia starting on attack, Soniqs starting on attack. Or sorry, Damwon Kia starting on defense, Soniqs starting on attack.
They're both on attack.
And there you go. DWG Kia, again, they like these target bans. They went after Nook on Bank. Now it's 0 to follow up. Unable to be played by SQ.
I like that, especially as we saw Rexon was playing 0 on Bank that we just saw play out, and NA in general as a region, they actually tend to play 0 a lot more than the likes of, for example, Europe and Latin. Probably more than APAC, probably more than every region. They play on a handful of maps. Chalet is one of those maps we see it in play heavily. We see the Thatcher and the Valkyrie to follow Troop. Of course, Valkyrie was open on Bank. Both teams kind of struggle against it. Now it's banned out. Mirror to follow suit as well. And for the history of Damwon Kia, at least here at the 6 Invitationals, they've played Chalet 3 times throughout the group stage. They played it first against Team 1 with a 7-4 victory. Then they played MIBR with an 8-6 victory. Then they played Na'Vi with another 8-6 victory on Chalet. So while they have a win streak of 10-1 throughout the last, I believe, 4 months or so, it's been close. If you go 8-6 twice against MIBR and against Na'Vi, well, that's not a clear-cut victory by any means, and that, it leaves you open. And if you see the same Damwon Kia now on Chalet as we did on Bang, kind of running down the clock on their attacks, being rather slow, and not really brewing that much confidence either, it goes to wonder, On a map like Chalet, where you need to assert dominance and really get out there and fight your opponents tooth and nail every single round, can they hold up against the likes of Soniqs, who are now feeling extremely good, especially after that final round on Bank? And if you guys have just tuned in, or you folks, sorry, have just tuned in, you should go back for a moment. Watch Bank, watch the final round, spend the last, minute, 2 minutes of the round, watch it, then come back again, because you need to watch that moment. Arguably the highlight of today, and also arguably the highlight of one of the biggest highlights of Invitationals 2022 so far was Kansan. He's now on the line, getting active on the map with a global gadget.
I would go so far as to say the greatest clutch of Kansan's career. And,
I'll take that.
And possibly the greatest moment of Kansan's career as well.
I'll take that.
I want you, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tell me if you sincerely believe there's a better moment that Kansan had in his entire career. I want you to send me it, because I want to see what you think is better than that. Round 12 against one of the best teams in the world, one of the statistical best teams at this tournament, ice in his veins in a 1v4 with an SMG-11 in hand, weakened in a post plant.
Doesn't get better.
Give me a break. Give me a break. The only thing better than that is if that's map 2 or map 3 if you make it to a best of 5, and that's for the win.
Yeah, to close out the series, that would be the only way that really could have been any better. Of course, if it was a 1 versus 5, but that's just absolutely unheard of. Doesn't happen at this level, and sure enough, hasn't happened yet that I know of. Here we are. Wookieman inside the library, Rin to follow up on side of Chimney. That means that you got a 2-man lineup. We got Coded on the blue stairs, so triple formation, if you will, playing together, using that utility to their side. They have the Jaeger, but no MI, which means if Soniqs can get together and really utility clear this area of the map, it'll be a lot easier for them. They have 4 grenades to Twitch drone the line and flashbangs, so they have every single piece of utility you can possibly imagine. Yeti, now being alone as he always is, on the balcony. Sure, Kansan's there as well, but on the other side of the balcony, so they can't really help each other directly. Likely be looking for a nade. Rexon making that Twitch drone move around the map, seeing if you can find some ADSs. Actually, Wookieman, early drop, giving away library. Remember, you cannot retake once it has been surrendered. So that means, once you drop, you're out. There's no way back in. That leaves Coded and Rain upstairs, alone now. Only 2 players, with the last 3 of Damonkia on site. That's going to be easy biting for Rexon, but traded back by Coded. That's the FMG, 1.5x, so I can do a lot of damage. 1-for-1 trade, but honestly, I would say that Soniqs came out on top here.
Absolutely they did, and I'd be very happy with that. Not, by the way, that all you Rexon appreciators in chat are upset that I'm saying that, but I definitely think that taking Rin out of action, taking that part of the map away from Damwon-Kia is absolutely huge.
It is, sorry. Your goal as an attacker is to take map control. You did just that, and you traded 1-for-1. That is a success, no matter what players are involved. Always.
No, perfect point. Just don't ever interrupt me again. Anyway.
Sorry.
No, but I'm serious.
I know you are, so I'm apologizing. Cast the round, Parker. Now it's your turn. 20 seconds
later. 20 seconds to go. You're absolutely correct. There's an adrenal surge as well. E1D goes off. The default cam at the top of library stairs lets them know where they're coming from. Doesn't really matter. 1 kill from Damwon-Kia so far. A second will join with Katsang getting that. Top stakes now as Kansan is dropped, and Yeti in his as the last man standing drops in, and it's the clock that'll ultimately give the round in favor of Damwon-Kia. They need a couple motivators to get themselves back in there. Easy for your spirit to be broken after what you saw transpire at the end of Bank. A couple rounds to lift up DK's mental is exactly what the doctor ordered, and they're 1 round on the way to that.
Yeah. Very good, important round for your mental. It did look like they were playing a little bit scared when Wookieman dropped so early despite still having control. I was like, oh no, not this. Please don't fall under pressure. It's the first round of your favorite map. But they showed that they could persevere, hold their ground, hold the bomb side, find the picks, and code it with a good trade up on that opening kill, basically making sure that Rin did not die for nothing. That is exactly how you want to do it. Now we're going to be seeing Master Bedroom as our second bomb site rotation, and a bit of 6-pick shenanigans going on right now as Wookieman is deciding what to play. He has decided that Echo is the operator of choice and coded with a Tashanka. So we're seeing a bit of color on the board here. We're seeing the blue of Frost, the red of Tashanka, and the it's like a red-brownish color from Wookieman. Like maroon, if you will. Yellow from Rin, that's the Jaeger, and Aruni has a bit of both. She has the orange, she has the white. But yeah, it's a nice color palette for a Master Defense, I would say. And without, or rather, as expected, sorry, Going to see them extending over to the library side as well, reinforcing the bathroom walls, solarium walls, library walls, getting all those reinforcements out. And you have to do this. When you play Chalet, you're going to be, as a defender, extending one room over or one room up or below, because you cannot just hold the bomb site. The bomb site is weak, right? You have verticality, you have very limited areas to hide on, you have so many lines of sight, you have grenades from below, above, around you. We have seen how lethal grenades can be. I mean, the big window master bedroom alone, that's half the bomb site gone, right? So you need to get active. DWG are doing just that. There'll be Cat Sang and Yaz on the library side with Rexen on the balcony with Kansen to support him. And Yeti's going to be going down below inside of the game.
30 seconds off of the board now, and just to contextualize what you talked about earlier, you said and mentioned DWG Kia's 3 maps. Damwon Kia's 3 maps that they played here on Chalet through the event. It was 7-4 over Team 1, 8-6 over MIBR, and 8-6 over Na'Vi. Now, there isn't a ton of overlap in their map pool with those 3 teams, so the fact that there are 2 squads that took them to overtime is a very promising sign for the Soniqs. Even if this is historically one of the best maps for DK, the fact that there is a lot of footage very recently for the Soniqs to go on and say, you know what, we're going to let Chalet go through. We're going to play you on it. That's a very good sign. So a couple early rounds, like I said, from Damwon Kia, it establishes the tempo of this matchup. That's exactly where they want to be, but the Soniqs can very easily understand it. I appreciate that from Grixer. Nice shot, takes out Rin, and again, Rin the opening death for their team.
Yeah, important to note there that Grixer didn't shoot the first time around. That's not because he was being slow. It's intentional. If you shoot and you miss, then the enemy knows you're there and you've missed your opportunity. So trigger discipline, waiting for the right moment, knowing that, well, Rin obviously had no clue he was holding down the angle. Normally, you'd be on the rappel, that would have been hurt, but he was in the tower. A little bit less common. And now the wall has been opened up for Soniqs with 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go. Looking at how they can deny it. Well, we see it right now. Yokai drones from Echo on Wookieman. You got Tashanka Molotovs from Coded, but that's really it. No C4s, no verticality.
The other Yokai drone is under the desk inside of office as well. So both Yokai drones are positioned in a way to stop wherever the execute comes from. As you talked about, those Molotovs fired out by the Shemika launcher of Tachanka. Still 11 to go.
We're just going out.
And you can keep sending them out. Look at this, 40 seconds to go. Frozen in place by the Lion, as now the Soniqs will get a bit more aggressive, heading in towards the bomb site. And there's the Tachanka to fall at the hands of Yeti. The Soniqs cleaning up on these kills. Rotate held by Rexen, but he's going to get pushed from over by Piano. Damage being done, diffuser planted, and Rexen wins the gunfight anyway. Katsang completely missing. Now for the rotate, same position. Down goes Woogieman. Yas in a 1v5. How about a flawless round for the Soniqs? They won't get it. Yas says no thank you, but Grixer says, that's my teammate, man. A flawless no way, but we'll take the round either way. And that's it. Equalized at 1 round apiece.
Really well done by Soniqs, basically pushing deep through side. They saw the Tashanka somewhere deep in master bedroom, shooting out those Molotovs. And they're like, you know what? That's going to be super annoying. He has like 20 more left, right? Because you just keep on shooting. Thump, thump, thump. So you push deep, you flood the bomb site, you take the fight to Tashanka. Either he'll have his gadget in hand and he can't shoot back, or he'll get off that gadget and allow Super to get the plan down, which he did, and they got the kill. In fact, they got every single kill. It was a 5 versus 1 with Rin as the last player standing, and he too fell shortly after. That now means that, well, where are you gonna go next? It's Kitchen. Again, neither team has played the same bomb site back to back when they've lost it, except that Soniqs did it a single time on Basement. They played it, then they lost it, and they went back. But besides that single instance, it's always been about finding the next bomb site, the next area to go to. So, not a ton of adaptation on the specific bomb site here, but more so that, okay, that didn't work, we go somewhere else. And then we'll see if we have to back eventually, and then we'll make it work that second time around. I will say though, lots of different operators coming out. Wookieman now on Maestro, Yas now on the Mossy. So we're seeing really as many operators as possible on the defensive side, whereas Soniqs, well, they're keeping the same lineup very similar because it's what's working, and again, it's kind of giving you everything you need to deal with, if not every single problem, most of those. Kansen on the Lion, one of the noteworthy operators because it's not super common to see, but when it is brought out, it requires a very specific playstyle for the attack inside. If you don't play around the gadget, you know, you have this 2-second area where the attack or the defenders cannot move. If they do, they get spotted. Can you play around it successfully? I mean, look at this. A rush. That's the Lion gadget. You cannot move, and now the action begins.
And they're in. Yeti with a kill. Kansan down. Finished off by a Nitro Cell coated. The next one, the line of fire. Down goes Rin. The Soniqs have control of the bomb site, and they'll continue to sweep right in. Super with the diffuser wants to go for the plant. There's an evil eye cam watching him. That makes Yas in the position to retake, and down goes Super now. But Yas is boxed out of the bomb site. 2 Ronies left is all Damwon has. So they're going to run out of bullets real fast and need to seek shelter before engaging more than 1 or 2 opponents. They've got marks on that diffuser being planted, yet he falls off of it. Rexon on such low HP, he needs to be very careful about what comes next. But Crixer has 2 adrenal surges ready to use whenever they want. Early post plant now in round number 3. Again, Damwon, they need to figure out where they want to attack from. A Nitro Cell from Yas is available. There goes Grixer. Adrenal surges no more. Nitro Cell goes out. Diffuser in sight. But so is Katsang to Rexon. Yas on the retake with the doorway and the spam marks, but he gets out-dueled by Yeti just sitting and waiting so patiently.
Oh my God.
You hear that war cry go out, at least we did, from the Soniqs. And the Soniqs are up 2-1.
And I was literally just talking about the line. If you can play around a gadget as a team, it can really work in your favor. That's what they did. They knew they were roamers from Damwon because they're following the plan, right? You gotta extend 1 room over or 1 room above. That's what they did. And usually you cannot get punished. But that's where Kansan and Lion comes in. You activate the gadget. If you see a bunch of red pings, you know the roamers are coming back to side. If you don't see any red pings at all, you know they're still extended far out. That buys you at least 5 to 10 seconds of freedom, where you only have a couple of people on the bomb site itself. And that's what happened. They rushed on in, they got the picks, they traded out in their own favor, and then eventually they got diffuser down, worked their way through it, and the cover came out. 2v2 played well, and they won the round. Now we see once again bomb site rotation. We're not gonna stay anywhere twice. We are back to bar, which was the first opening round as well as the only round that Damwon has won so far in Chalet. What happened last time from Soniqs was that they attacked in a very conventional way. Library balcony, they came in through the office balcony window, they took top floor control, and then they tried to make their way through side, but that's where Damwon they really had their angles covered. They found the picks, they got the trades, and they did a really good job. And it was Rin here on Chimney, Coda on side of blue, and then Woogieman inside of Library. And the only thing I would criticize from Damwon was that Woogieman dropped down the hatch extremely early, not wanting to risk dying. But outside of that, it was a very well and nicely played top 4 defense for Damwon. And Soniqs had to break it apart one more time because you cannot ignore this top 4 setup. And that's exactly where Kansan and Yeti will go. They've been the duo on this balcony so far.
Rexon got that pick on, or Rexon got picked off, but Rin got picked off as well. If you remember, we talked about the top chimney control, and then it didn't really materialize from the Soniqs. Like you said, you have to respect the off-site play if you really want to make this execute happen. So the Soniqs cannot afford to dawdle. If you get one of those first picks, you have to take control above, and then you force the defenders back into the site where Woogieman is playing right now. That's what you want to open up. And a lot of teams do tend to take those stairs up from the garage and then just break open the bottom of the wall. That's usually reinforced. That leads into back bar because that's the adjoining room to the rest of the bomb sites. And you need control of that as a defender or else you can get pushed from above, especially if library control is in favor of the attackers.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing a different approach from Soniqs. They're not attacking twice the same way in a row. They're going basement, and you might just see that wall you just mentioned, Parker, into side getting opened up. That's where the Maverick comes in handy. Go on this basement stairs, make a line in the wall, have a second player there, watch you as you do it, so that if there's a player who will be unexpectedly or not expecting the breach, he will die. Let's see if it works out that way. Shots are coming out, Injure comes through, Grixer takes a bit of damage, but other than that, absolute freebie.
I'm sorry, it's almost like I told you where teams like
it's almost like I told you so.
It's almost like I told you so. Katsang is down for the count. Rexon is the first one to die early again. Half of the round, and when I say early, I mean the first player from Soniqs. So technically, just like round number 1, it's a pretty quick trade back and forth.
It is. Now we see Kansan inside of Library has somehow snuck past the defense of Damwon and nobody helped to jump in, and I don't think Rin is aware of this position. Remember, Rin has no backup, he is all alone, Coded surely making his way up the blue stairs, he is, but he's stuck on that shield position. Meanwhile, Yas will cover the basement. Damwon fighting on multiple fronts. It'll be hard to communicate around this correctly and ensure that everybody has somebody there to help them.
Yas is now in that mudroom down below. There's a grenade that went off to do a lot of HP to him. 40 seconds. And both of these teams, quiet right now. Adrenal Surge comes out. A reposition from Woogieman. He dodges around the nade. Suppressor on that. Don't know if they know his position. He's playing the angle by the bomb chassis, but he's worried about the window behind him. He's unable to be picked off from the bomb chassis. So the Soniqs now decide we need to rotate, but you've only got 20 seconds left. Where are you going to go? Woogieman now the one to take damage from Damwon Kia. Rin has not been removed from his position upstairs on Chimney. More damage done to Woogieman, and it's just simply a test of reflexes. Down goes Rin, yet he doesn't need to ascend the stairs anymore. Super with Diffuser in hand. Damwon's win condition has stopped that Diffuser in its tracks, but their attention is elsewhere. They have to get to the Diffuser now. Yas falls. Woogieman and Coded nowhere nearby. Yeti gets taken out, but the Diffuser is down. And Damwon all of a sudden hitting their shots. Grixer in the post plant. 35 seconds to go. Neither on it. Grixer doesn't have any intel. Woogieman might be able to find this. There's the drop from Coded. Position being given away. Back on the Diffuser, Woogieman goes, but crouching down in back bar, Grixer gets one and he gets both! A huge play in the life of Pablo, and all of a sudden the Soniqs are up 3-1.
I want to point out the ridiculousness that is Grixer that round. So Parker said, oh, you're rotating. Where are you gonna go? There's 25 seconds. I'll tell you, because I was watching the second monitor. Grixer ran from basement all the way to Westmain Stairs, all the way up into kitchen dining, made his way through the dining hallway, got one pick. Then he went all the way into Fireblades, into the bomb site, into the stock room that Yeti breached earlier, and then found those last two picks. He was everywhere on the round with almost no health to his name, and he got the opening kill. Grixer, I'm not sure if that was the right decision. I was heavily questioning why would you go West Main Stairs into dining? You do not have time. But what do I know? You played the round perfectly after that fact. You found the last two kills, you found the round, you got the clutch, and now you've even forced a tactical timeout from Damwon Kia. That speaks volumes. You are in their head, but in the weirdest of ways.
In the weirdest of ways, indeed. I mean, one of the things that gets touched upon from this Sonic squad, and we talk about it, God knows we talk about it a lot, is the and the frequency of it tends to be quite high, is the performance in Mexico and the performance in Sweden.
Groups.
I mean, they got grouped in both of them. And then what ends up happening, the Soniqs come out and in almost every single content piece made about them from that point onward, they say we took those as learning opportunities. People judged the Soniqs when they dumped their whole roster full sale. People judged the Soniqs when they picked up the smoldering wreckage of E United, the team that was the worst in the league, and you pick up 4 of those players. The only person who doesn't come over from that roster is Alfama. Super steps in instead. You bring in that E United roster with some newer players on it. Kansan in particular was he was a baby. He was brand new to pro play, and they judged them for that. And now things are working out. Trust in the process, they say. Now, it is still a long series. The Soniqs have far to go, but they are in prime position to be able to finish in the top 4 in the upper bracket, which means even if they lose their next match, it still means that they're deep in the lower bracket and they don't have as much of a slog to go through.
Oh, that's Yas again.
Oh, and Woogieman, by the way.
Yeah, but it's Yas who tossed the impact grenade. So it was also Yas and Bang that tossed that, frag grenade that took out a teammate. Now we're kind of seeing the same thing again. I really hate to see this because Yas has been an outstanding player in the past. He's had a really rough day today right now. It is Damwon Kia's first game and only game today, which means warm-up might not have really been in their favor. Maybe they couldn't find a warm-up scrim, I do not know. But what I do know is that we're seeing some sloppiness that we have never seen from Damwon Kia as of yet at this event.
And I'm going to even say this. If you go back to the Sweden Major, I don't remember this many misplays by this team during their run. Maybe a game in groups that doesn't really pop to mind, but you have to go back to the Mexico Major when this team developed a ton of fans, but they also were committing a lot of mistakes. They were a younger squad. They were far less experienced. They picked up some crucial experience in both of those two majors, and now they enter as one of the favorites to win the whole event, and they perform through the group stages like that favorite. It's not like they proved people wrong or made people doubt them. No, they emerged from the group stage with one of the best records. Yeah. And the dominance that we saw on display from Damwon Kia in the groups has evaporated so far today. They are playing very sloppy and very poor on a lot of these bomb sites that it does not inspire confidence in them.
It doesn't. And no matter who loses or wins, the loser in this matchup will go to the lower bracket. They are not going home, which means there's going to be another fighting chance for them. And that's great because, honestly, I think it's way too early for either team to go out. They've been proving themselves time and time again the last 6 months. They both deserve to be here, and they've both played a phenomenal game of Rainbow Six Siege up until this moment. But right now, it is the Soniqs that are looking a tiny bit better, and they've taken full map control in half the round. Smokes are coming through, flashbangs, grenades. Nobody from DWG can really challenge this, and the only way to really break them apart with bomb deny, well, that's going to be the Molotovs one more time. There is a single C4 from Wookieman, and he is not currently on the... Actually, he is. He's kind of like a trophy stair, so he's far back. Could go below for a C4, but Soniqs, you have your work cut out for you. Now all you gotta do is at step 3, the execute.
And the big difference is there's no echo as well. So there's less information that's present because there's no surrogate. There's no other operator that brings that same level of vision to the board, especially without a Maestro. What little was left of Coded is now gone. Yas is still wounded as well. There goes Super to Katsang. Far range for the DMR in hand of Aruni. Kansan has to burn an E1D, and now Rexon is gone. That's the very first kill for Rin. DWG cleaning up, but Grixer now says not all for you. It's him and Kansan. Two of the younger players, two of the newer players. Yas on a flank. But there you go. Grixer has sights on it. Diffuser is still in his hand. He doesn't have any intel. He can relatively safe, and he can plant. But he'll toss a grenade out over to the doorway and now pop out the case. Kansan doesn't have an EE1D to use. Down goes the Kaid as Wookieman walks in. They know where the last one is. Kansan, you don't need to give your life away. Let Rin come to you. And Rin will do just that into the waiting arms of the Lion. And the Soniqs are stunning the world right now. Up 4-1.
Absolute masterclass of a 2 versus 4, and a little bit of hesitation from the side of Yas. And I hate to really go in on this guy, but it really cost him. He was on the blue stairs to top library. He was sitting still, waiting. He could have swung up, gotten an opening onto Kansan, but he waited, hesitated for 2 seconds, and Kansan, in that same moment, he walked through the Aruni gate into Piano, and Yas's option of a flank was gone. And then, well, he fell shortly after to Grixer, who either read the flank perfectly or perhaps there was a drone. Either way, that 2v4 or 2v3 from Soniqs was beautifully executed after an aggressive DWG had shut down the initial push. There wasn't much bomb set deny, or plant deny rather. No echo on the board, a single C4, but that was on Wookieman, who wasn't down below. He came back up the Solarium stairs, went into master bedroom, he was the second last member to fall, and well, Grixer and Kansan, that duo right now. Grixer in particular on this map right now, phenomenal performance, 9-2. And I mean, Kansan, we don't gotta talk about Bank at all. We've been there. It was in a phenomenal, one of your best clutches to date in your career, to take the first map and take us to Chalet. And now Soniqs, they want to go the entire distance. For the first time from DWG, they are going to the same bomb site twice after losing it. They have not done that before. They didn't do it on Bank. They haven't done it on Chalet, but they have confidence that they can make this bomb site work. It was so close, but they need a more ensured way of closing out the round because it's not enough.
Well, 4-1 for the Soniqs. Not exactly the result that we thought would come out. Timeout was burned by DWG 2 rounds ago as well. Didn't net any success, and there was that issue committed by DWG, if you remember that impact, which ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, that impact grenade was not really crucial. You cannot pin the round loss off of Yas fat fingering one of those impact grenades. It does not work that way.
No.
Coded was the first one to die. He was at full HP. I think he took a couple bullets right before that, and then he got finished off. Yas was able to stay alive for quite a while, and it didn't really matter how much HP he had. So
agree.
You can't look at that as a mistake, but I do think it is emblematic of the way that the team is playing right now. DWG are either very far in their heads or the Soniqs are in their heads. One of the two, you need to shake it off, and you need to prepare no matter what happens in this round. You got to regroup for the next half because DWG, their chances of holding this map are slipping, and they're slipping real fast.
They are. And I mean, they're not really holding library. They're reinforcing the walls. We see it every single time, but they don't do anything with it. Sure, maybe you can argue that it's baiting Soniqs, and so thinking they might be there, but it's the third time Soniqs is doing the exact same attack. You've adapted a little bit. You brought out the alibi, you still got the Shishanka, now you got the smoke as well. A little bit of bomb deny or plant deny, but I don't really know if that's your entire win conditions worth, because you also need to find opening kills. When you're fighting against these long-range gunfights, against LMGs and, you know, 2x scopes, etc., it's very difficult, no matter how good you are. And right now at 5v5 left, we got a minute to go. The Soniqs, we're getting close to execute time. And Katsang's looking close to try and get a pick.
And here's a different play. That playing close from Katsang, usually not as close to the breach from Damwon Kia. So at least a small adaptation in that regard, but the nade will work and Katsang takes a lot of damage.
It's not looking good. With a sliver of health, Katsang's to fight the bomb side alone. Sure, Molotovs are coming out, buying time, buying space. Now as well, Toxic Babes. But Katsang, when you have this little health left, it's just a little bit of shrapnel and you're out for the count.
They haven't managed to clear out the Wamai discs yet, though. Katsang re-engages in that same spot. The Soniqs get hit with an adrenal surge, and now Katsang pushes up to the window. Even with 1 HP, you can fry your opponents. We know that. Katsang takes out Yeti, immediately pivots. Damwon Kia cleaning up in the kill feed, but there he goes. And no, it's a team kill again. Damwon Kia making some mistakes. Conan is now down. And all of a sudden, it's Yas in a 1v2. Diffuser is planted as well, so it's a scramble. The superstar player, one of the most consistent from APAC, he's watched his team fall all around him. He knows the stakes. The Soniqs looking for a 5-1 half, and they'll get it. Grixer says that's enough. The first half in the books. The Soniqs stealing 5 rounds against Damwon Kia.
That was so confusing. Essentially what happened was that Soniqs, they popped the E1D Lion charge, or Lion scan, then they walked on in. I mean, we saw Yeti. He walked from piano into office. Katsang was behind him. So Katsang turns around, it's like, oh no, there's a player here. Shoots Yeti down, gets that kill, but there's 3 more players to follow. And before Katsang can answer, he steps 1 step backwards. And guess what? There was a Molotov from Tashanka that had been fired earlier to stop Soniqs from pushing into the breach, and it injures and kills Katsang, who was on 1 health from that grenade earlier in the round. It all comes together in a great plan, but that one was not indeed intended, I don't think, because you never want to team kill a friend. That is never what you intend to happen, but it cost you.
Again, mistakes being made, and Soniqs fans do not think we are taking anything away from your team, because I don't think there's any doubt as to how good the Soniqs are playing at the moment. This is not the team that squared off against Elevate. This is another level. This is the Soniqs in mid-group stage form, but they can actually close out the rounds. They look so strong. Damwon Kia, the reasons for their success are absent. Their ruthlessness, gone. Their ability to hold map control and roam and engage off of that roam. Getting a pick or at least wasting time, also gone. Yeah. They just look on so many of these rounds, it looks like Damwon Kia is just waiting to die. And that is so out of the ordinary for them.
You need something to go your way, but Damwon Kia has a very definitive playstyle. First of all, they're the most clutch team here at the event. That's a fact. They have one of the best gun skill. That's a fact. But they don't really have a typical open and kill priority, where like, oh, we're gonna be roaming and get 1 kill and fall back. They don't have that identity, and right now, honestly, I'm not sure what identity is, but as I said that, yes, hurt me apparently, got the opening pick, you need that. That's Yeti off the board, Aruni, not the best operator, but of course, every player is a good one to take down. Now you're in a 5 versus 4. Opening conversion rate to round win for Damwon Kia is 75%. That means statistically, they have a 75% chance of winning this round going forward based off the previous stats, and stats rarely lie.
Absolutely. Numbers don't lie. They can.
They can, but they don't.
What do they say? There's stats, liars, and damn liars or something like that. I can't remember the exact turn of phrase.
Something like that.
Something along that line. Anyway, Rexon was on the roam upstairs. After about the minute mark, he decides to fall off and get back into the bomb site down below. And he's now joined up with the rest of his teammates. The only one off site now, right along with his Grixer upstairs inside a kitchen. He's got a long angle. One of the changes to Alibi recently gives her that 1.5 scope. Allows you to play from farther back. Katsang is upstairs at the top of those stairs in particular by Chimney, tearing away at some of the floor, and it will allow you to watch that staircase that is needed to rotate from lobby into the basement. Right now, Damwon are checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
And if a comeback is going to occur, it's going to need to be done without this timeout, but you're going to have to pick up a couple rounds early to break this confidence and momentum because the vibes are at an all-time high on the Soniqs right now, and they are punishing you in-game, and they are winning outside of the server as well.
Yeah, now you do have Damwon on the attack, so you have to start wondering, well, is it just a very attacker-favorite Chalet? We will see. It'll depend on Damwon how they can perform on Chalet. It's a very comfortable map for them. They have tons of strats and comfortability here. Now they got the opening man advantage as well. So this round is a great beginning, but can they close it out? That's what we have to see. Looks to be a fireplace, blue stairs-oriented push. And that'll be that. It'll be 5 versus 4. Here we go.
That fight is going to be crucial right now. Grixer is still far enough back. The Buck knows that somebody's in there, or is at least sensing that somebody is playing inside a kitchen. I don't know if the information is at hand for Damwon, but now it's Yas to drone on in. The Gemini doesn't make it in time. I don't think they've successfully droned out Grixer, so now Yas will need to engage 1v1. Peeking dry, looking the wrong way. Grixer immediately pivots. He's got the attention of the Buck. Can't win the gunfight. The only kill so far for the Soniqs is Grixer. Rin is down. Coded going for the defuse. Kansan must deny. There they are on the ground as Woogieman and Rex into to the bomb site. Shutout. Damwon control the bomb site. They control the round, and they finally get on the board. It's been quite a while since they won a round. They're going to need a couple more of those to get themselves back in this matchup.
75%, there it is. Even though there was a slight slip up with that Gemini where, well, I don't think they saw Grixer, so he got that pick. But the follow-up was really quick from Damwon. The only thing I was worried about was that timer ticking down. But you said they ticked all the boxes. They did. They got the opening pick, yes. Then they got map control, yes. They set up a drone network, covered their flanks, and they almost played it perfectly besides that one missed drone of Grixer. But then Grixer gets the kill. What do? You instantly send 2 players to respond. You get the trade. The roamer is now off the board, and you instantly turn around. You take your eyes towards the bomb site, and you execute. Well done, Damwon. And Soniqs, they say, well, you beat our basement, now try our bar. Similar fashion, once you lose a bomb site, you go somewhere else. Because, well, you have 4 bomb sites to choose from. There is no reason to stretch yourself on the same bomb site when you can stretch yourself differently on the map. And every map speaks to a certain play style, and you can play around that differently. Of course, if you're Soniqs, you can just say, they got lucky. It's a basement attack. We're not good at defending that anyway. Watch our bar instead.
Like so many teams, a big focal point for the defense is not going to be on the bomb site, it's going to be upstairs above it. Library with the hatch either opened up or reinforced, making the attackers' lives more miserable. Additionally, whether there is or is not a Mira available, you're going to have a setup at the top of Chimney looking into that library wall. We saw there's a Frost in play. Frost, obviously a very strong operator on this bomb site. There's windows and drops that you want to go into, and you might not be looking for where those mats are.
Yep, Frost very good on maps that has a lot of windows, and Chalet is that kind of story. I mean, think Skyscraper back when I was in Pro League, that was like the Frost speciality. But with this Chalet rework, it is a little bit more kind of like Skyscraper. There are more windows added to the map in general. There are more windows leading to the bomb site.
Don't say that.
But there is.
I mean, big difference. Chalet's a good map.
Not false. Very true.
Old Skyscraper, frustrating. New Skyscraper, I like.
Okay, there it is. Maybe one day we'll see it in competitive play, but right now that's not the case. It is not in the map pool. We got 7 maps. It is not one of them, but Chalet is. Woogieman on the library balcony together with Yas, trying to figure out how to break this apart. We saw Rin playing this exact position that we now see Yeti in. ADSs, Magnus, shields, and reinforcements. Very heavy emphasis to defend this area. Rexen nearby to help as well. Now this is the challenge. Damwon, you have to break apart. There's a Runi gates, castle barricades, ADSs, and my discs. You have 7 flashbangs, you have 4 grenades. You can break it, but coordination, synergy, and communication will have to carry you through it. Because if you misplay just a single piece of utility, well, you don't have enough. and it looks to be that that's the reason why they're rotating around, or at least get into this window balcony instead.
And two of those gadgets, the denial from the ADS and from the Surya gates of Aruni, they reset. They are not permanently used unless you destroy the gadgets. The Wamai discs will get used up. Those magnets, they'll be gone. But as for the ADS, you got a 10-second window. You got a 30-second window with the Surya gates. That's it. If you don't coordinate, as you pointed out, you're going to be misusing and mismanaging that utility. And Damwon Kia know that. Right now, there's been a call to action. As they use grenades, they use those flashbangs. The left side of your screen, all the flashbangs are gone. Only 2 grenades are left. And yeah, they might have worked their utility, but they have nothing else to show for that. Right now, though, leadoff pick goes to Rexon, immediately traded back. Damwon Kia far more formidable on this attack than they were on defense. And they will continue to pummel the Soniqs. It's now Grixer and Yeti. DK have the site. Grixer on that back bar takes down one, but Yeti is now gone, waiting for the pop-up on this particular play. Grixer's position given away. 13-3 for Grixer. Good lord, but what are you going to be able to accomplish? 3 players from Damwon Kia still up. Grixer in back bar, and there's going to be a set of eyes on just about every single way out of this position. Waste some time, maybe. Communicate, play off of your own abilities, your own instincts, but this is an unenviable task. Had intel uncoded, but it was expired, just as Grixer is that round. And suddenly, Damwon Kia showing signs of life.
Really good 1v3 for Damwon Kia. In that earlier stage of the round, the last minute, when the execute came through, the flashbangs and nades, they're all tossed. And you said, well, you cleared the shield and you cleared certain positions, but you had nothing to show for it. And then the opening kill went to Soniqs. But then it was quickly traded back with 2 kills from Damwon. And then they got the advantage more. There was 4 versus 3, and they pushed through side. And while that execute upstairs happened, they actually jumped into the side window and executed the plan as well. So they're attacking from multiple fronts. Soniqs had to respond to multiple emergencies at the same time. When you got limited manpower, well, there's 2 problems. It's a 50-50 chance. Do you go up above? Do you go back to side? Bit in the middle for Soniqs. 1 person was above, 1 person was below. It was Grixer down at the very end. Couldn't find a single player because the discipline in the 1v3 from Damwon Kia was superb. Very nicely played, ensuring that once you've gotten the round in your hand, you do not let go, you do not give it up, and 3-5 scoreline as Damwon Kia is striking back on their attack. So maybe after all, Tiger side is Chalet, but just like Damwon Kia went to Master twice after losing, Soniqs will do the same with Bar. Doing the same exact setup, same operator lineup. They want to prove they can make it better. There is one change. Grixer went from Jaeger onto Melusi, so those Banshees will help stop Damwon Kia from sneaking in or taking control of certain areas of the map. But outside of that, it plays out just the same. You gotta hold the ground in the beginning. You gotta try and counter. Once Damwon Kia, they get aggressive on the utility clear. You see Grixer getting aggressive himself once they contest the Westman window, but not much will come out from this.
I'm not a fan of that. You cannot gamble Grixer's life that early on.
Risky.
He is unsupported, and you said it. It's very risky. I understand that Grixer is, in his mind, on another level right now. And yes, Damwon Kia, they're not the same team today as of this moment, but that potential is always there. Just because right now you don't have Yas or Rin or Woogieman clobbering you the way that we've seen in match after match after match does not mean that they can't wake up, and you do not want to rouse them from that slumber. So maybe play a little bit safer, get away with your life, and help the rest of your team by wasting time in drones but not engaging blindly off of a window in West Main.
And that seems to be the case. Grixer actually found Yas on that isolated 1 versus 1. So he listened, he fell back, played it safe, but then he struck when the time was right. 14-4 now down here in the dining hallway. That is Grixer. He's making his way through the map. He'll be an annoyance to Damwon, a thorn in their side, as he will stick around aggressively. Rin, next one up for the challenge. Who can whack them all once he pops up his head? Neither player knows the whereabouts of the opposing. They're still just waiting, listening, trying to figure out what is happening. Rin is trying to figure out, oh, but can't sing. Fine, super.
And they're defusing. By the way, the diffuser in hand right now for Coded, but the rest of the team all falling by the wayside. There you go, Rexon comes back, a nice 2-piece, and that's the round. Match point, series point for the North American League champions.
How excited Grixer is.
I made a Kanye West reference earlier and nobody appreciated it, and I'm very upset.
Nobody appreciated it? Nobody. Not a single person?
I mean, it's
That's sad.
I'm not actively checking social media business. I'm just saying.
That's
Pablo.
sad.
His name is Pablo. Grixer's real name is Pablo. I made a Kanye reference. It's fine. Hell of a round, by the way, but a bit anticlimactic with so much on the line. Damwon Kia break in. They have the bomb site. A minute and a half off of the clock, and they have that bomb site. But what do they actually get with it? Nothing. They get gunned down. The Soniqs retake swiftly. Grixer off of the site. He gets back in. And boy, oh boy, does he have such a profound impact. 15-4 for Grixer.
Yep.
What a showing. And the fact that Grixer can go toe-to-toe with this team of Damwon Kia, it bodes very well for the Soniqs because we've seen North American players, and I'm not going to call any of them out by name, but we have seen North American players absolutely light it up and torch their fellow North American teams and players and then shrivel when they get to a world stage. And that seems to be a big obstacle for NA. Grixer showing right now, where there's smoke, there's fire. He's very good in North America. He can put up those same numbers against the best competition in the world. The Soniqs right now are one round away from pushing one of the favorites in terms of both winning and a fan favorite down to the lower bracket. If Damwon Kia had won this matchup, the regions would have one team apiece in the upper bracket finals. The final four in the upper bracket. But right now, it looks like there might be two NA teams unless Damwon Kia can find their footing and find it fast.
Yep. Oh, missed utility there. Actually, the Kyclone might just be somewhere else. It could be above. Might be, yeah, it is above. So the nade was good. It wasn't a utility-based issue, and I think Yaz reads it. The first nade misses, you try again upstairs, but Kansen, he's very smart. Picked it up, will place it back down, and he got the timing, I think. That should trick out the Abandoned Peloton. There it is. That is not going to bode well. You still have more Kairos. You got 6 more left in your pocket. But honestly, you burned a full minute, 2 grenades, and you gained absolutely nothing.
2 grenades and 12x Kairos. No secondary hard breach. No insurance policy. Hibana is the only hard breacher on the board right now. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not glamorous, and it's not a kill. But that right there, that is enough to almost win a round on its own, and Damwon Kia will have to course correct.
It certainly sways the number on the favor of Soniqs, right? It's a very good utility gameplay from Kansen, showing he's more than just a gun. He also has a brain in this game, and now Damwon Kia will have to literally break this round because they have very little to go with. They have spent the 6 hours that were remaining, so I assume they got the breach open, but that's all they'll get. The hatches will stay closed. The backside will stay closed. They only have this tiny breach. And 5 players versus other 5 players. The Soniqs, they're playing the map on multiple levels.
You have to aim where it's aimed, by the way, because there is a certain point where above that bottom stud, you can technically crouch walk into the bomb site, but that's only your real option. Think about it. 6x Kairos is not enough to give you an entry to the site. The first pick goes to Rexen on to Rin. Is that the domino? Well, the rest of them to fall shortly thereafter. Rexen loses a lot of his HP, and now all of the Soniqs will be frozen in place as an EE1D comes out. Damwon Kia drone and assess what they can do over towards blue, but like I said, you have to course correct. Where is the next step for Damwon Kia?
Well, right now it's the main staircase. Flashbang comes up, but no push just yet. It'll be a Fireblade blue stairs push with Yeti and Super respectively contesting. And now Koda walks back into side. That'll be the action. 30 seconds. This is it.
Oh, and Yeti doesn't see that Kodin's sitting in the corner. He decides to take the gunfight and loses it. Damwon Kia now storming into the site. Katsang is the next one up. Kansen will try to outduel him and succeed. It's a 3v3. Make that a 2v3. Yas taking damage now as well. Diffuser needs to be picked back up. Beautiful shot from Yas, but they have to pivot. 10 seconds left. Then the Diffuser is in the middle of the bomb site. They know Rexen is coming down the stairs. That leaves the most pivotal player of Grixer, but he's as good as gone. Diffuser going down. Rexen looking towards Connector. He's got Yas lined up. This will be a hell of a play on his end. Diffuser down, and it's a 1v1 just like that. In blue with the clock running. Wookieeman knows exactly where he's going to come from, but Rexen decides that's not the path I want. Oh, well, my disc goes up to give information. Maybe obscure with the sound. Playing around the deployable shield is the Lion, sitting there waiting. Timer still ticking away. That's the DMR in hand. 20 seconds for Rexen to be able to pull this off. Match on the line. Richie wants to run up, but a flashbang stops him, and there it's Wookieeman to seal the deal. Oh boy, heart palpitations for the fans of the Soniqs, but Damwon Kia still very much in this.
And that all started off with Yeti. Wide swinging that main stairs, didn't see that Cod had already pushed all the way down, and then opened up the round. And Damonkia had so little to work with, but oh boy, can they do damage. That was just 2 players down the main stairs of Fireplace, and 2 players down the blue stairs. That's all they had. No backside pressure, no hatch, no verticality, and almost no utility at all. And that now means we're going to kitchen instead because, well, if you're Soniqs, you're on match point, you have room for mistakes. This can happen. And if this were the roles reversed, if Damonkia made such an error, well, that's that. Because that's the benefit, it's the advantage of getting rounds early on, is that once you get to match point, the pressure is no longer on you. Sure, you have to close out the game. But more so than that, well, the enemy has to win the game. The ball is in Damonkia's court because they are on the attack inside. If the Soniqs, they sit in the corner and just wait for that time to tick down, and Damonkia doesn't respond, doesn't take the map, doesn't take the round, well, the defenders win. That's always how it goes. If the timer hits 0, well, unless you're either currently planting, going into overtime of the seconds, or if the bomb is already down, well, time will always be favoring the defense.
The objective is in the hands of the attackers, essentially.
Yeah.
To boil it down.
It is.
Get into the bomb site, plant the diffuser.
Yeah.
We've been critical of APAC teams, in particular, running the DMR online. We've seen it in a couple different teams, Elevate, CAG, and asking why do they do this? We thought that when Twitch was running the DMR, that it was maybe to conceal the lion pick, but sometimes on land, maybe you're just really confident. DMRs are 2 shots to the body, and that's it. And while you lose that rate of fire, for example, on Twitch, the F2, it's a fire hose. That thing's spewing out bullets faster than either you and I are capable of casting. And it's just one of those bullets needs to hit the head, and they're dead. But that 417 that is brought as the DMR for Twitch does a ton of damage. And even if you tag somebody just once, you're going to put them in a position where they're at about 30 to 40 HP. What the hell is going on, by the way? With all of this sound, there's a ton of shooting that is broken out now. And this is exactly the pace that we want to see from these teams. The Soniqs still sit on match point. They also have a timeout at their disposal. I suspect that if Damonkia wins this round, the Soniqs will call their timeout.
That makes sense. I agree. I like it. Cat sank in the basement, did some verticality, got answered back. That is Yeti inside of Solarium, gets naded out. Yes, again, opening kill in favor of Damonkia, looking good. But now, they got 2 more minutes to work with. And Soniqs, they have very few ways to respond, right? It'll be an absolute brawl, because utility-wise, well, there are no C4s, and Toxic Babes won't do you much good. Remember, it is a kitchen bomb site. We're extending up above. We're not on the site just yet. We'll be there in about a minute or so, give or take. Rin making his way inside of West Main, but upstairs you see Grixer. 16 kills to his name. Looks to hold down the fort. Inside of office.
There was a kill as well on the Katsang, tagged earlier by Yeti. And that opening pick by Damonkia is only their 2nd, technically, of this half because the last time was traded out so quickly. Rin, once again, giving an advantage to his team. Knocks Kansan out of play. The smoke is down. Unideal. You want that presence in the final 30 seconds. Now, as you said, it's going to be a brawl. There's less that the defenders have in the final moments. There's no nitro cells. There's only Evil Eyes to try and work.
Yes.
Oh, he doesn't see Grixer. We use the rat quite often, the term rat, to describe those levels of plays, and that's a rat play from Grixer. Yas walks in, he gets taken down.
There it is now. Damonkia, they're trying to find an entrance site. To paint the picture, Rain on the Swissman window, as you see, Woogieman trophy window, and Coded on that big massive bedroom repel. It'll be a trophy Westman attack by looks of it. With 30 seconds left, you can't quite rotate, and we have 2 Soniqs player inside of Dining. Make that 3, or actually, Rexon flanking him above.
And I was going to say, Damonkia need to get in the building right now. They are in very grave danger of stalling out as the bomb site is just slowly out of reach. Super by the bomb chassis might only be 1 and 8, but he'll continue to fire away. Intel going in, Flash is missing completely. The Alda in hand, Diffuser going down as well. Woogieman halfway there. The pings are no longer relevant, so Super pushes up. He has no idea where it is. He charges in to give his team intel. You now need to rely on Grixer and Rexon, but it's Rexon down and Grixer in a 1v3. Diffuser is still there. Last of the Adrenal Surge on Coded wearing off. Damonkia were not in good position, but it seems like they've found something in this round, and it's Rin, a huge round from Rin, and we're gonna go all the way. 12 rounds needed to settle this. The Soniqs stumbling on match point now, 2 rounds in a row.
Going the distance. Soniqs, they can't close it out. Damonkia, they wanted more. And they're actually looking a lot better in this second half than that of the first. Could be them on attack, could be them being warmed up and ready prepared. We're seeing we're seeing much less mistakes from the side of Damwon. We're seeing Soniqs, well, outside of Grixer, not really doing too much on the map. This guy is everywhere, top floor, basement, first floor, you name it. But the rest of Soniqs, well, we're falling a bit short. Super on that previous round with the Maestro didn't do a whole lot of damage. He allowed the enemy to get inside the bomb site, nobody from Soniqs playing inside of kitchen itself. And you can argue that you might be giving Damwon a little bit too much space, right? Because when you have the 3v3, you have the side, you cannot just play all the way in the back line. Once that blank goes down and you're in the post-plant scenario, it heavily favors the defense. It's almost impossible to win. It's very difficult, at least. The Soniqs, well, right now you're letting Damwon Kia get away with the plans against you. Back to bar. Soniqs, they've been here twice already. They've won it once, they've lost it once. And it kind of came down to these weird plays. But more importantly, it came down to Grixer. He was finding kill after kill, opening after opening. And if it's not for Grixer right now, well, he's one of the only ways for Soniqs to get the early man advantage. So all eyes on you, Grixer. Right now, there's a tremendous amount of pressure on your shoulders. Meanwhile, Damwon Kia, it's a team effort. Look at the scoreboard alone. We got 10, 9, 8, 7 kills on the board. 6 from Coded. Very close. Every person putting in an equal effort on the scoreboard. One person goes down, you got 4 more to back it up. But if you lose Grixer versus losing Super, you got a 16 kill difference between those two. That is a different story.
Absolutely. Super has fallen off in terms of his ability to find the scoreboard, and that is of note, especially against a team like Damwon Kia. Coded, who is goated so many times, we hear this reference, but he's shown up.
Yes.
Everybody on Damwon Kia has started to show up, and this is what you need to be a championship caliber team. You need that depth. We've seen Super frag competently in a lot of games, but it is not the case here on Chalet. He is struggling mighty hard.
He is. And again, he is playing smoke. He does have value on the gadget, but you need every single person to really gun it out, especially here at match point, because the pressure is at its highest. Similar situation. Yeti on Chimney. Rex in there to help him out. Kansen playing blue stairs. Super playing alone on site as expected. And Grixer halfway across the map just doing Grixer things. Trying to find an enemy to slay. But nobody from Damwon Kia this time around will challenge, because last time that didn't go very well. Grixer has been an absolute monster so far. And Damwon Kia, well, they got the line. Popping the first charge. Nothing much happens. It's a standstill. We're waiting. Assessing the situation. Yas may be getting active. Could this be a fast take on site? Well, they should wait for the second line charge, if anything. But this could go quickly, very swiftly. Super, the only person on site from Soniqs.
Yas was so close to the door, and now he's just going to walk right up Chimney. Hello, Yeti. Wakey, wakey. Yas is there, and it's pain time for you. Cans and refrags, and he knows he's got one more at the window, but he falls off. Remember before, there was all of that utility burned for Damwon Kia to clear out those ADSs, clear out those Aruni gates. This time around, you've only got magnets and Aruni gates to deal with, so not as much. And you can use those grenades and flashbangs to greater effect. Additionally, there's a smoke on the board for Damwon Kia that they can use at some point, or rather, there it goes. It's now completely used up. Through the Aruni gate, Coded will almost certainly take some damage as it hasn't been opened. There we go, and a hop in with the diffuser in hand. Toxic canisters have all been burned by Super, and that will impede the progress of Damwon Kia, but for probably about 10 more seconds. Kansen just off-site with an arm's reach. He's got the UMP, but he gets out-dueled by Rin, taken out immediately. Coded is down now, too. There's no Adrenal Surge used. No, it gets burned at the last second. Grixer, a huge double play, and Woogie Man inside of the bomb site getting chunked away. The hopes and dreams shattered by the Soniqs. They charge up into the upper bracket, and Damwon Kia, you're going down to the lower bracket. What a stunning 2-0 for the Soniqs as they knock one of the favorites out of the upper bracket.
Absolutely unexpected. This means 2 NA teams of upper bracket Soniqs against all odds somehow, someway beat Damwon Kia. First on Bank, second here on Chalet on their map pick, and on Damwon Kia's. and they've proven a statement that they have indeed improved from Mexico to Sweden to NAL finals and now here at SI. Every single event doing a little bit better, but it's really showing in this matchup.
An unbelievable result that we didn't see coming from a mile away. Many people had Damwon Kia breezing into the finals, the upper bracket. A lot of people thought it's going to be Liquid, it's going to be Damwon Kia, and then we might even see them again in the final, but the Soniqs said we've got other plans. And the plan that they had as a team coming together, just an incredible result and 2 phenomenal maps for the Soniqs. That's it for us as casters, but I know the desk is going to be very eager to go over what you just witnessed. We've got a break ready, and then we'll conclude the rest of this broadcast. Sit tight, don't go anywhere.